Hello and welcome to the Sons of Glitches podcast. My name is Dean and I am joined with Hilly.
Hello, everyone.
And also I'm joined, as always, with Mike.
Hello there.
Hello, how are we doing, boys? We all right?
I'm glad you went to Hilly first. I was crunching ice. I was like, shit, I hope it doesn't come to me first. I'm good.
I normally
yeah.
do go to you first, actually.
Mm.
I don't know why.
I was crushing gold with my bare hands.
Oof.
Crushing it.
Yep.
That takes some doing. You don't even need it, mate. So we're here just for a general waffle today. We did have a topic, but we all abandoned it because it was a bad idea. But I struggled. What we were going to do is we were going to come up with our favourite consoles and list some games. And I come up with the idea, let's get some genres together and blah, blah, blah. And I chose the Mega Drive. And I really struggled with one of the genres, the action-adventure genre.
Oh, yeah.
The first game that popped in my head, I don't know if you agree with this one, because it could be a platformer, Revenge of Shinobi. Classic game. It's not quite a platformer because it's more in the adventure side of like action adventure, basically. That's kind of what my first thought was. And then I went on the internet and looked up a list and it's stacked for the Mega Drive. But one popped up that Hilly mentioned, Flashback. I thought, oh, does Flashback trump Revenge of Shinobi? That's a tough battle because they're both classic games. Exactly.
That's a thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I know Flashback's not a original Mega Drive game. It was Amiga, wasn't it? But
That's right,
I always think Mega Drive when I think Flashback because that's where I first played it. I think a lot of people do. It was out on the SNES as well. But
let's not mention that version. That was a truly dreadful version. That was when the SNESs... Well, the SNES had a processor that was half the speed of a Mega Drive, so a lot of SNES games, even though they were obviously far more beautiful in the colouring, ran a lot slower than the Mega Drive games. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, if you recall. What a game, but so slow on the SNES.
Yeah, you're right. Super R-Type as well.
That's right, yeah. I mean, they're phenomenal games, but you kind of need to play a hack of them these days to like get them to play at full speed, when Mega Drive never had a problem like that. And the Flashback on the SNES ran really, really slow. Loads of input lag.
I can imagine it did. There's loads of frames of animation in there, so... I don't know what the Amiga one ran like. I imagine similar to the SNES because it was a while before the Amiga came out a while before the Mega Drive and SNES, didn't it? So you know what? I don't know. I don't know on that one. But the Mega CD is supposed to be the definitive one. Did you ever play that one, Hilly?
I have not, and I've also heard good things about the Dreamcast version of it.
A Flashback.
Oh, Flashback, yes. There was a Dreamcast version of it, which basically just rejigs some of the sound and the I don't know if they put like CGI style like video scenes as opposed to that, like is it like rotoscope? No, what's the word for it?
Yeah, it's rotoscoping.
Yeah, of the original, which is just so beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful and timeless. And I think they changed that somewhat in the Dreamcast version. But that is something I'm going to be checking out soon because I have been playing a lot of Flashback. And I'm going to go through different versions of it. So I went to the Genesis version, or should I say Sega Mega Drive?
You should say Sega Mega Drive, yeah. You should say Sega Mega Drive, actually.
The Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah. That's it.
The Mega Drive. And that's the default version of for me. It's strange. I knew about all the different versions of Flashback when I was younger. How? Like, what was I reading to know about the SNES version was slower and that the Mega CD version was meant to be really good and all these little things that I kind of already instinctively knew.
Is that something you got from like Sega Power, like a bit of a dig at Nintendo.
Must be, yeah, like Mean Machine Sega or something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
like Julian Jazza Rignall must have been having a snide dig at Nintendo. Although I'm not sure if he went to Nintendo Magazine System. Did he stay with Sega or Mega Drive, Julian Rignall?
He was
I
with
think he stayed
Games
with
Master
Sega.
for a while, wasn't he?
He went to Games Master as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a game! What a game! And to compare that next to Revenge of Shinobi is one hell of a choice.
It
Because
is.
Revenge of Shinobi is really stylish.
And
I wouldn't class that as a platformer at all.
no, that's what I was struggling with because,
Transcends that.
yeah, and I couldn't think of
Oh,
where else to put it. But it is a
yeah.
platformer at heart in a way because you are walking right, jumping from platform to platform, aren't you? It's
I
a
think
tricky
about
one.
that waterfall level. Well, waterfall level is
Yeah, that's
pure
what
platform. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, very, very good call on that. I personally, at the minute, because I am I'm in full flashback mode of like this game is. It might even be better now
Have
because
you
nothing is
you
aged for me.
finished it?
I'm at the last level, and it's rejigged everything for me.
Okay.
And it's basically you get back to Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Come
finished it once ages ago on like a retro console when I was setting all them up and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just so well worth doing. It's so well realized. The graphics and the sound and the gameplay are just so confluent, and they're all act in concert in a way that a lot of games don't. You know, like Streets of Rage, the soundtrack makes perfect sense to the rest of the game. Everything about Streets of Rage, if you take all the different parts of what the game is, like it just all goes together so perfectly. So does Revenge of Shinobi. So does like Mario. So sometimes games just click and everything just seems right. Like think about it's funny. There's a game called Renegade 3 on the Spectrum, and it's a god awful game. It's so bad, and it's really sad because it's the sequel to Renegade and Target Renegade, which are brilliant games. But it's just one of the worst games ever made. But the soundtrack's incredible. Soundtrack's one of the best on the Spectrum. But yeah, so like sometimes things just don't mix perfectly together. But something about like Flashback is just so stylish. Everything's so well realized. The little cutscenes, just a sound effect when you pick something up. Like it sounds good. Like I like picking things up just because of the sound effect. You know, like Zelda, you've got the opening of a chest. It's like Flashback's got a very similar kind of thing to that. And just the storytelling mechanisms to use. You can remember like in the early 2000s when we started to realize like Half-Life would start to tell you the story through the game of Half-Life 2 would start to tell you the story without any cutscenes.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was the first game to do
BioShock.
that, wasn't it?
Sorry, what's that?
I think was it Half-Life 1 was the first game to tell you the story
Yeah,
without
yeah, I
any
believe
cutscenes
so.
at all. It was something like that.
And BioShock had a similar thing, didn't it? Where you'd pick up the radio clips and play the audio, and it would like basically update you on the game, and like yeah, really good ways of like drawing you in and giving like a background in the game and stuff, with all the exposition, and Flashback has got a really kind of like proto version of that where it's kind of like just random characters you like you'll speak to just give you a little bit of like of the story, and then it progresses in a really subtle way by just some random NPCs you'll talk to. Like it's got a really good way of like progressing the story, and yet you don't really think like a cutscene per level. But the rest of it is like progressing the story during the level. It's really, really well done, and it's something I didn't really notice the first time around. And obviously, the animation is really stylish. The gameplay is really good. It feels good to time all the jumps right because all the level design is so good that you can actually get into a rhythm of the jumping, even though it's really overly animated. You start to get like learn all the little techniques, like when you should roll, then let go forward, just hold on to jump, and you'll auto jump onto a ledge.
I always
But
find
yeah,
that really tricky, the jumping, because as you say, it's on the animation rather than on your button press, isn't it? So you can press it
yeah,
and it won't jump until the animation's finished. I always find that really
completely.
tricky to like figure out.
So you have to get used to it. So you got to learn Flashback. You can't just be like, oh, it's an instant like boing, boing, boing game. Like not a regular platform where you can just like press it and you immediately jump. So it gives that more like immersive thing into it, and it's back in the day where if you die, you have to go back to the beginning of the level. And so you start to really like try hard and start to really, really focus. But it's just such a stylish game in a way that a lot of games. I mean, we bash on a lot of games in the last 10 years a lot, but it's so stylish in a way that a lot of games of the era didn't have. And even in like, the golden age of the 2000s, it's got something about it. Because think about like what Flashback is it's before those really crude polygons of like the PlayStation and N64 era, where even because there was another game called like Fate to Black or something like that.
Yeah, it's a sequel to it.
And I've never played it, but I quickly looked at the screenshots and I was like, oh yeah, I remember why back in the day I wasn't interested, because the graphics just looked so unstylish compared to like Flashback or even Another World. And yeah, so it was like pre that. It's just this perfect little thing. Like this perfect computer game which just I don't think it will ever age. Like people might complain about the difficulty in the controls, but as a complete product and in its style, it's like just completely timeless. It's a perfectly realized game, and I'm appreciating it much more as I'm older.
For me, I mean, I've not played it for a while, but it's the starting level. You're in the jungle, and you can hear like crickets and stuff. There's no music.
Yes, exactly.
You don't know why you're there, and also the character doesn't know why he's there, and he finds a hollow cube. Which is like puts a projection of himself out there, and it's like then he's like, you've lost your memory. You need to go and find, or was it Ian or something like that? And you need to go and find him, and he'll help you find your memory. And it's like you're discovering it the same time as he is, and he did that clever trick where memory loss tells the story. Yeah, but I mean, oh, Jesus, what year did this come out? 93, 94 or something like that?
93.
So I was 11, 12 years old when my mate showed me on Amiga, and he's just like, this is like a film, this game is. I just remember that first jungle scene, and there's some kind of robot going around with electricity and stuff like that, and it just hits me so hard with nostalgia, that first stage does. And then it progresses on. It goes into like a Running Man kind of game show where you've got to win money to get back, as Hilly says, back to Earth, because the aliens are trying to take over Earth and stuff like that. But I don't know. Did you say you're not finished it, Hilly?
Yeah, I don't want to be jigged about the last level, because I know I'm on the last level, and I'd forgotten what the last level was.
I'm not going to spoil the ending either for you then.
Oh yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, you go here. I forgot about that, but yeah, absolutely loving that game, and I can't say a bad thing about it. And yeah, it's like a mismatch for like Total Recall and The Running Man. But like even the character just looks like cool. Everything about it, it's completely timeless. And
it is.
It just goes to show, like, actually what you said about them not having constant music in the background. Like that's massive, because every computer game had music in the background back then. And it just has like subtle like jingles every so often, or do-do-do-do-dum, do-do.
It was like movie sound effects. That's exactly what it was. And as you say, every game was like, especially on Mega Drive, it was a pumping soundtrack. Like the music was almost thrash metal, but on a synth. And then this Flashback come along. I didn't feel the same way about Another World. I can't get on with that game at all. I don't know if it's too difficult, or I don't know. I just couldn't get past the first level on it. It did me head in. But Flashback, played that all the way through. Loved it. But I recommend, I don't know if the Dreamcast version would be the same as the Mega CD, because I recommend the Mega CD for the music, because it's all Red Book audio rather than synth bass, so it's proper music. It sounds really nice.
I have to try it out. I'm gonna play most versions of it. Like I decided I need to see what the other versions are.
It's not that long either when you know what you're doing.
No, it's not. It's just a difficult game when you're trying to actually navigate it for the first time. But I played through it so many times when I was younger. I loved that game, and it was like one of my favorite ever games. And I kind of just forgotten about it. Like by the time we got to the 2000s, I'd forgotten one of my favorite games. I just rediscovered it a few weeks ago, and obviously time constraints get in the way of playing games these days. But like, I'm gonna miss it when it's gone. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna try the SNES version. I'm just gonna like swear constantly at it as I'm playing it.
Well, while you guys have been talking there, I've just been watching a video of the side by side of the SNES and Mega Drive versions, and like, I mean, the video I've been watching is like in the jungle level, and in my head, like I don't remember the jungle level at all because like in my head it's
Really?
fun. It's funny Hilly should draw the comparison because it's exactly what I have in my head. I've always thought of Flashback as a kind of Total Recall vibe, kind of cyberpunk Blade Runner-y type sci-fi game, and then watching this video here where it starts off in the jungle, I was kind of
That's
like,
quite a prominent level as well. It's probably one of the longest
I mean,
levels.
I haven't got much memory of it because I never really played this back in the day. I remember a mate of mine had it on he had the Mega Drive, he had the Mega CD, and this was one of the games that he had for the Mega CD. But we never really bothered with the Mega CD because like the games were a little bit shit on the Mega CD.
Yes, they were.
Trophies.
Yeah. You're not confusing it with Another World?
I think I might be conflating it with that, but there's definitely elements of Flashback that do have that Total Recall vibe because I remember there's a screenshot where he's sat in kind of like that fucking that chair that Quaid's in, where he's getting the fucking memory implant. It's very, and then there's a scene where you're in, I don't know if you're in a subway or something, but there's kind of like tiled walls which kind of look like the train station in Total Recall. So it's it that in my head is what I think of when I think of Flashback. And you've also got that. There's a hover bike sequence at the beginning as well, isn't there? Yeah. So
you've completely forgotten about the first level. That's wild because that first screen in Flashback,
I know. Yeah.
Like for me, is one of the most iconic screens in all of gaming.
Yeah, I agree.
Just saying that the holocube, and you know that if you go to the left, it's just that like basically just drop that kills you.
There's a pit, and
it looks like you can almost get over it. So you just try and get over this pit again and again and again, but that's the wrong direction. So the game just has fun with you from the start, just trying to get you across this pit which you can't get across.
And then you figure out the button to draw your gun, and he pulls it from his inside pocket in his jacket.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's amazing.
He walks as well, like he puts his back against the wall. And
he does. Yeah.
What a phenomenal game.
I think the reason I'm getting these mixed up is because there wasn't Another World before this one.
It was,
yeah. That's probably why then. Yeah.
And funnily enough, I played Another World when I first got back into emulation. When I first got back into legally owned software, and the 3DO version is clearly the best version of Another World, like by a long shot. And my friend recommended it to me. He's like, "Oh, if you're ever going to play it again, play the 3DO version." I was like, "Yeah, okay." Oh my god, it's genuinely incredible.
Really?
If you're going to play Another World again, try the 3DO version if you can get a hand on it. But yeah, solid game. Too hard for me. I never got past level 2 when you're in the prison. I just gave up.
I remember swinging in a cage. Hang on. No, you start off in the water in Another World, don't you? You got to swim up, and that thing's trying to grab you. And then there's the set piece with the beast that chases you.
Yeah.
And then you're in the cage with the alien. Actually, Another World's pretty good, isn't it?
It's an amazing game. Again, another iconic game, but that second level is so hard because you're breaking free at the prison and everyone's just blasting at you.
Yeah, you got to set your shields and stuff like that, haven't you? Yeah.
You're gonna learn. Solid.
2 good games there.
Oh, and with Edge of Shinobi, we could enthuse about that for an entire podcast.
Has everybody finished Revenge of the Shinobi, or do you at least know what happens at the end?
Yeah.
Mike?
You're not spoiling it for me, though, mate, so it's all right.
No, I'm not worried about it. The story of Revenge of Shinobi is you're trying to save your missus from an evil bad guy, and the last boss, she's in a cage at the side of the screen, and you either get to choose to kill the bad guy and she dies, or you've got to try and save her and kill the bad guy, which is nearly impossible. So every time you play that game, it's just like you get that far. Bearing in mind, you didn't have continues and saves and stuff. You're like, I've spent 2 hours trying to get this far. There's no way I'm saving this chick. I'm just killing this guy and getting out of here. Dinner's ready. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I ever saved her at all.
And you know what? You know what's really bad about that? Do you know if you don't save her, you're rewarded with some of the best music in computer game history. Like the bad ending music for Revenge of Shinobi is like perfect. Oh, am I getting it wrong? My hit. Oh, what is it?
My Shinobi, my lover.
My lover. That's when you don't get rescue, isn't it?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't played it for a long time, to be thingy.
Right,
1989, that game came out. It's insane, and it still looks good today. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does. That's another thing which is just like completely perfectly.
Man, the Mega Drive's brilliant. The Sega should just release the Mega Drive again with the same games. I'd be there.
Well, they released the Mega Drive Mini, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's not the same, is it? You don't get to town on the bus and buy a cartridge for that, do you? I could relive my youth. Get back on the 69A.
Physical media for the win.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you know how I feel about that.
Well, I don't know why, but fucking the other day, what was I watching? I was watching a video and they were talking about the whole Sony situation with cancelling discs, and I was like, do you know what? Fuck it. Before I have the ability, or before I have the option taken away from me, I'm going to buy a Blu-ray burner. I'm going to buy a bunch of Blu-rays, and I don't know what I'm going to burn, but I'm going to make sure that I've got the if I need to, I've got the ability to actually do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought a Blu-ray burner and a bunch of Blu-rays, but then I was reading the next day that Verbatim have actually come out and said that they will ensure that there is a steady supply of Blu-ray discs for as long as possible. So
that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a funny one with Sony because I do disagree with it, but at the same time, I've not bought a physical game for a long time. Actually, I tell a lie. Donkey Kong Bananza got that physical.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the Yeah. What was the last physical thing I bought for the PS Pro? Probably Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotai. Yeah, I've got quite a few PS5 games that are physical, but I've also got digital ones as well. But they were purely through like the case of, I'll pre-order it now and you can download it and play it early.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I really like, the Spider-Man, like, I really want to play that like as soon as possible. So yeah, I'm going to go onto Loaded. I'm going to get some PlayStation credit, get that pre-installed and play it like, 2 or 3 days early. But certain things that I would want to collect. So having that taken away from, like all of the Switch games and the Switch 2 games I've got are physical. But I know that's, kind of like a safe investment in a way because Nintendo tend to, like, they're on their own, aren't they? They kind of like, they're not playing the game that Sony and Microsoft are playing. So like their stuff,
do they?
No, they don't have to. No. And I think that is kind of what's killing the console, the feel of a console, because effectively the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and the generation before it, the PS4 and the Xbox One, they were just kind of PCs in a console body. They don't do anything different from each other. They're effectively just the same thing, just in a different shell. One's a little bit more powerful than the other. vice versa in the next generation. And Nintendo have kind of gone their own way. Like all of Nintendo's consoles, bar like the GameCube, the N64, the N64 had a USP, didn't it? The controller was its USP, and the fact that it was, the first proper 3D console as well. That was a USP at the time. I know the PlayStation and the Saturn could do 3D, but it was a 64-bit machine, and it was, centered around that kind of thing. But yeah, for me, a console has to, you were talking about the SNES and Mega Drive differences in one game there, and that was part of the fun back in the day of the 16-bit stuff, like when we had those console wars. The version of the game that you get on one platform could be completely different on the other platform.
Alien 3.
Yeah, that was part of the joy of it. It's kind of like, which one's better?
It was even worse back on the Specky and Commodore 64 days. They would be completely different games. It was insane.
Yeah. But the differences between a PlayStation 5 game or a PlayStation 4 game and an Xbox game, there isn't any difference. Maybe slightly
few frames a second.
Yeah, resolution difference here or there or whatever, but effectively they're the same game. So there's no reason to actually want one above the other. So, and that's kind of killed the feel of a console, because it doesn't really matter what color box you've got. You're going to get the same game at the end of the day.
Yeah, true. That's true with crossplay as well. Now you can, if you guys have got an Xbox and I've got a PlayStation, we can just play together now.
And PC.
So,
yeah.
And PC, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And more so now the Switch 2's out, and Nintendo's getting in the fray with that one as well. So
yeah, but
to a lesser extent.
Yeah, again though, Nintendo's still doing its own thing, because they are, they're making the games for their platform.
Yeah.
And any multi-platform thing, I wouldn't necessarily go and get, on the Switch one, when they did, I love Doom, but I would never dream of playing Doom on the Switch, because it's going to be a gimped version. Why would I play it on that when I've got the other consoles available? It's just not the place to play it. But what I can't do on the Xbox or PlayStation side of things is I can't play Zelda. I can't play Mario. That's the identity of the Nintendo console that, is completely missing. And the fact that we've not had any real exclusives on the PlayStation, on the Xbox side, that have absolutely smashed it out of the park, is all kind of lending into, it's this kind of perfect storm of why, console gaming is just really in the shitter at the moment. There's nothing to look forward to from a hardware perspective. There's nothing to look forward to from a software perspective, because, there's just nothing on the horizon. And also we're coming off the back of 2 generations where, yeah, there've been some good games, but has there been any truly great games, like exclusive games for each individual platform? Not really.
No.
What do you think the last truly great game was?
Truly great games.
Yeah, last truly great game. When what do you think it was?
Exclusive, truly great exclusive game.
Jeez.
But the equivalent of, say, The Last of Us for the PS3, for example. I mean, has there been anything like that since then? I mean, granted, I've got my own reservations about The Last of Us, but it was a great game.
The Last of Us was a fantastic game. I enjoyed my time with that. I disagreed with where the franchise went after that. But it doesn't make The Last of Us a lesser game because of,
So I'm of the opinion there hasn't been. I mean, I know you two completely disagree with me on this, but I don't think there's been a classic game since The Witcher 3. And that's 11 years old. And I mean, like a stone cold, clearly this is something else. This is brilliant.
I'm going to put in God of War on the PlayStation.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The original.
Not the original, no, the PlayStation
2018 one.
Yeah, 2018.
Ah, right, yeah. That was good.
Yeah, that's a fair shout.
And was it Spider-Man 2 and the Miles Morales?
No, Spider-Man 1's better.
Is it I don't know. I've not played them ones, but I've heard they're like proper good.
Spider-Man is great, yeah. And so is God of War. So yeah, maybe, but 2 in a console generation. Oof.
Yeah,
not ideal.
2 in a decade.
Then you're looking at games like Red Dead Redemption 2, which was obviously multi-platform. GTA 5.
A brilliant game, but you know what?
You could have lived without playing it.
Yeah, it's just, you know, every time I think I'm going to play Red Dead for a few hours,
it's a daunting proposition.
It's loaded, I'm almost like annoyed because it takes ages to get Rockstar. Rockstar, what's it called? Rockstar Social Club or whatever it is to load up. Then it'll update because you have
yeah.
And then the game itself always takes ages, even though it's on my SSD, and then it will put you in some random place and you've forgotten what you're doing because of that inexplicable Rockstar saving system. well, I don't know why they still do it, where it will save it and just throw you some random place, and then you don't really know what you're doing, and then you have to remember what you're doing for about half an hour. But I'm like, I've spent 45 minutes trying to start the game.
It always did that on fucking GTA 5. I used to like playing as Franklin, and I used to like riding motorbikes and just going as fast as I can, just driving around. And then I'd like park up, turn my game off, and when I turn it back on, I'd be like Trevor in a bar beating someone up. It's like, hang on a minute. Where's my motorbike gone? Yep. The fuck?
Yeah. Swap back over to Franklin and he's chilling in a pool or something like that. It's like, hang on a minute. Fucking... Yeah. I know it's kind of...
put Red Dead in there. Like, as good as Red Dead is, I just don't think it's like a classic computer game. I don't think it's up with, like we were looking at those years, like 2006, 7, 8, and it was like 20 classics a year at least.
Yeah.
I don't think Red Dead 2 is one of them. Even though
it's the variety of the classics that was striking about that as well, because it wasn't any one genre. They were taking swings at all kinds of shit. There was different game mechanics and different art styles, and like they were so varied. But it all seems to have funneled down into just
everything just looks like Overwatch.
Everything just looks the same. Yeah.
While we're here, and I'm thinking about the algorithm, what about those Grand Theft Auto 6, GTA 6 leaks, guys?
I kind of kept away from it because I just don't give a shit. I really don't.
I've watched it, and I don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah.
It looks like GTA 5 with nice graphics.
I mean, tinfoil hat, and I've seen some people saying this online, but they're like, people have started observing that this is the best kind of publicity that Rockstar could hope for, in a way.
100%.
And it is, because people are talking about it,
Yeah. And people have seen the game, and they want the game now. They've seen it.
Finally, they've seen the game without having to pay this ridiculous fucking, Netflix tax.
Netflix thing. Fuck off.
Fucking, that is stupid for a 6-hour exclusivity window. Like, who went to who there?
Insane.
Yeah.
That's got to be Netflix going to Take-Two and Rockstar and saying, we'll give you X amount, as if they need the money. Yeah. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. So to get the normies and the apathetic who are just kind of like sat on the fence, and everyone else who's salivating, like, whips up into a frenzy. This publicity that they're getting off the back of all of these leaks, what is it, 6 days in a row now something's been leaked?
Yeah, they're holding them to ransom as well, aren't they? They're telling them, apparently they've sent a message to Rockstar saying, leave us alone or we will leak the whole game.
Well, I saw that apparently they've got a dead man switch as well. Yeah. So if he gets arrested, because he has to manually stop it from being the full game. Apparently he's got a release version of the game, and he has to manually stop it from being uploaded every day. So if he does get arrested and gets kind of like incarcerated and he's not able there to push the button, it's going to get released. So, like, I mean...
Arrest him.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Imagine if everyone just got it for free and Rockstar just imploded because of this one guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going to disappear.
He's going to disappear. 100%.
Yeah.
Someone said to me the other day that Grand Theft Auto 6 is being made by the same people that Grand Theft Auto 1 to 5 made fun of.
Well, yeah, it was those. Remember those pictures that Dean was telling us about a couple of episodes ago?
That sums it up. Like, the kind of people that have made Grand Theft Auto 6, like, would have been mocked throughout all of the first 5 games.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of it, because I've watched the leaks, it's beautiful shots of cityscapes, some hot Latino girl strutting down the street, shaking a bum, and then she'll run into a shop and start like shooting. Or a bloke walking around with his top off, and there's like the definition on his back looks really nice. Do you know what I mean? Really nice graphics. And then he'll shoot someone or rob a car or go surfing. And it all looks fun, but none of it was tongue-in-cheek and none of it was satirical, which worried me a bit. It was all very serious and very realistic looking, which, I mean, I don't think Grand Theft Auto should be realistic looking because you should be flying 50 foot high and trying to corkscrew a car or something.
It's a hyper exaggeration of real life.
Yeah, and it looks a bit too serious.
But it's not satire, that's it. So I've got a feeling that GTA 6 isn't going to be satire.
Yeah, that's the thing that worries me. That's the thing that worries me about it the most. It's the fact that we're in such a different world now and everyone is shit scared of getting cancelled because they've said the wrong thing and some group of fucking retards on the internet have got butthurt over, you know, something that doesn't affect the real world in any way, shape or form. And they kowtow to that. Oh, no, we can't piss off X demographic. We can't piss off Y demographic. We can't make fun of this group of people because, you know, they're you know, living their truth and they pay money to play these games just the way that everyone else does and all this kind of shit. And it's like, no, make a game for your audience. Don't make it for everyone. Make a game for your audience and let the audience be the judge, you know?
So we know for a fact that's what GTA 6 is going to be like. There's going to be no satire because comedy doesn't really exist like that anymore.
Well, there's reports coming out now about Wolverine saying that Sweet Baby Inc. have been involved in the creative process in Wolverine. So people are there's backlash starting against Wolverine now. And that's due out in 2.5, 3 weeks.
Well, you know what's interesting, Mike, is that because there has been a genuine pushback, and then not only has there been a big pushback by the people who disagree with it, there is now an antipathy from the normies towards that kind of stuff. Do you know when Sweet Baby Inc. were doing all those what do they call themselves? Do I forgot what they called themselves.
Consultancy, aren't they?
Consultancy, that's it. So they would consult with you and then tell you what you should put in because this fits in with a modern audience. So basically everything they were saying to people 3 years ago, people started to make a game 3 or 4 years ago, consulting with these kind of retards.
Yep.
And now we're going to be releasing games to people who literally just don't want it. So we're going to have a slew of games in the next 2 years that have come at the end of their development cycle.
That's the problem.
So completely out of touch.
Yeah, that's the problem with pushing agendas in that kind of way, because games nowadays take so long to make that, and agendas change so quickly because people are so fickle. It's like, oh, let's take the temperature of the air today. Which way is it blowing? Oh, right, okay, we're pro-trans. No, we're against that now, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Fucking the agendas shift so quickly, and allegiances are so fickle when it comes to those kind of agendas. People will turn on themselves so quickly and eat their own that by the time these games come out, whatever they've been advised to do is no longer relevant. And people are, and more to the point, they're not only not relevant, but people are actively kind of against having those things pushed against them because they're sick of having that shit rammed down the throat. So then they do become kind of disgruntled and start voicing their opinions. And then the feedback loop starts, because they're voicing their opinions and the dissatisfaction that's, X, Y, Z. oh, you're a bigot, you're a misogynist, you're a this, you're a that, and then they get even more angry. What, who are you to call me that? I'm not any of those fucking things. I'm just telling you how it is. Why am I not allowed to be represented anymore just because I'm straight or I'm white or I'm a bloke or I'm female or whatever it is, you know, like it just, the whole situation is just fucked. And like, this is supposed to be a hobby where you just have fun. And it's so hard to do that nowadays because of the state of like software development, and also because you can't go out and buy the fucking things that you want because everything's so fucking expensive.
True. So, you know what the icing on the cake to all that is? The software houses and the developers have sacked everyone.
Yeah.
So there's no way back because there's no one to make the games anymore because it's all going to be made by AI, which is trained off the same fucking models. So we're just going to end up with the same game over and over again now.
Yeah.
Well, that is a thing, isn't it? The AI is going to start writing the games and prompting like scripts and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't think AI could make a new Halo just yet, but it's definitely going to be guiding people.
Well, by all accounts, mate, Halo Studios can't make a good Halo game either, you know, so it's...
Well, and also they've all been sacked and they can't get jobs in other developing situations, so they've moved on. They've all gone. All the great guys are gone because there's nowhere for them to go because there's no money in it anymore.
They got completely put out of it anyway because their politics or just their being didn't fit in with what we have now and what was like kosher in modern gaming. So all the great guys who made like the seriously good games, they were kind of put out of a job anyway. And then what you had now, like you say, you've got all of these people who are just going along with what was currently trendy, and then going and consulting with Sweet Baby Nothing and or whatever they were called, Sweet Baby Inc. or whatever.
Yeah.
And then developing these trash games, which everyone is literally stood against to the point where they're not selling. So the studio gets closed down, and it's weird to think that we're finally at the end of it almost. Because I don't actually know what. I guarantee if someone's like, because there still are studios, yeah. I mean, not everything's going to be AI yet, but they're not going to be consulting for today to start a new game production, which is going to be 4 or 5 years from now, yeah. They're no way going to be thinking, well, we need trans representation, and they're not going to be putting that stupid purple hue in the game. Do you know if games have got that stupid purple hue? Like that is the complete sign of this is to be kept away from. This is like BPD the game, and keep away from it. But yeah, that's not going to happen in 5 years' time. No one's gonna, in the right mind, want to produce like Dragon Age, Veilguard, whatever it was. Yeah. Now they're going to be keeping the hell away from stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we just need to get back to like fun little games, man, that just don't have politics involved with them whatsoever. It's just about playing the games. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a shit if you know, trans people want to be represented in their games. Yeah, fair enough. Have an option in there, but don't raise something up above something else. Do you know what I mean? And don't push agendas onto people who don't need them. And also, don't push agendas onto people who are fucking too young to even know what they are in the first place. Because let's not forget, like, most games are targeted at kids. Do they really need to have this kind of stuff pushed on them at such a young age? I don't think so. Imagine, like, if like Mario or Link had an option in there to choose some of these kind of like options, identity options in those games, you know, like what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I think it's fairly over. I mean, what we did was about 6-7 years ago. I mean, did it for about 3 years on a trot. They just called us all names, alienated the core audiences, and the core audience was like, "Right, we're going to war. Won't buy your stuff." I mean, every single time like a game sells well on its opening day, they both saying like, "Yeah, we own the chuds," and then the game will bomb.
Yeah, I mean, it's and I'm not ragging on like the trans side of things. It's kind of that. I mean, I went back and replayed Spider-Man 2, and I was kind of like, holy shit, they're really pushing miles ahead of Peter here, making Peter a bit of a bitch. by pushing Miles forward, because Miles represents a different ethnicity, and like I shouldn't be playing that game and thinking, hang on a minute, the representation in this and the identity politics and the racial politics. Because when you look at the timing when Spider-Man 2 came out, it was right around the time of the whole George Floyd thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, something's just off here, And I'm like, should I really be fucking like having these thoughts while I'm supposed to be playing a game where I'm dressed in lycra swinging around a fucking city, fighting a guy in a fucking rhino suit? Not really.
Bitten by a radioactive spider.
Yeah.
So which Spider-Man is it? Because you guys would have played this. I saw some dialogue from a Spider-Man game. I'm completely out of touch with all Spider-Man games, but it's a recent one. And basically, the main character, I don't know if it's Peter Parker, he's just a complete wimp, and he's constantly talking about his feelings, and he can't deal with it, and he's not doing very well. And
that'll probably be Spider-Man 2.
And he's like, I can do better. I know I can do better with myself. And the dialogue is so cringeworthy because it's such a dramatic scene that a lot of players were probably not listening to what he's saying. Sometimes in a film scene, if something's that dramatic, sometimes you don't really listen to what they're saying, and you just kind of let the scene go past or whatever. But if you actually listen to what Spider-Man's saying in the scene, it's so cringeworthy, and it's basically just like he just makes himself. He just isn't a man. That's it. He is not a man. He's not.
Sounds
cheeky,
like he's been hanging around with Lara Croft too much, to be honest.
And so we're developing all these characters that aren't like even. That's what I mean. That the trans things like near or there, but like all these it's the characters now. Like most characters in games and films are either like stupid bitches, like ultra bitches, just with the worst attitude problem in the world, or these just pathetic men, completely pathetic men.
Yeah, they have to. It's the whole Luke Skywalker thing in what was that second Star Wars film called, where they made him into like a miserable old bastard who murders, always thinking about murdering his
Well, he always was a bit fucking whiny though, wasn't he, Luke?
He was whiny, but yeah, like the whole deconstruction of kind of like that. And they did the same thing with fucking Indiana Jones in that fourth film, and fifth film, sorry, where they made him into a fucking insufferable, useless piece of shit. And yeah,
did his last indie film, he just gets like browbeaten constantly and complained at
all the time off Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yeah.
There's this woman who just looks like the most middle-class horse girl in the entire world.
And she pretty much is that. Yeah. Fleabag. Fucking.
And if you ever meet these women in entire life, in real life, entire life, if you ever meet these kind of girls in real life, like they're never like they always have this bravado, but like if you actually just disagree with them, like they just shut up.
Yeah,
they're only brave online and like when they're with friends. So no woman like is going to be talking down to Indiana Jones. It's just stupid.
You wouldn't think so, but yeah, it's a crime to be, a strong male character these days, because it's masculinity's toxic and all this kind of stuff. As Elliot Page reminds us, because
the most masculine man in Britain.
If anyone's got an insight into positive masculinity, it's Elliot Page, isn't it? So.
Yeah. But you know what? This will end, and this is the real crux behind because games aren't like what they used to be, in that you could have Tiny Toons Adventures and just have a cute little platformer. They are story driven now. You have got that kind of God of War stuff. I even heard in Ragnarok there was a lot of we can do better, we can be better people stuff in it as well. I think there was some dialogue in that which was quite questionable. I've seen.
It wasn't egregious in Ragnarok. There was hints at it in there, but it's because they'd built such a strong kind of narrative with the first God of War. It still, because Sweet Baby Inc. did they consulted on, was it character? I don't think they had a hand in story, but I think they had a hand in character development in that game. but it kind of
What do you mean on that character development? That's amazing.
I mean, yeah.
We should start our own consulting company. This is what we should do.
Yeah, it's just
charge
bullshit.
people. Say, look, this is what people want. Basically, like we'll just give them the character development for like Predator.
Yeah.
But not tell them it's Predator, and that's it. And we'll just make millions selling like these like character development like strategies to
Sweet Gooner Inc. we could be.
Yeah.
Chuds are us. I don't know. Yeah. Chads, Giga Chads for hire.
That's it. Yeah. We will be distracted. But as soon
as
we get back to that kind of stuff, then games can be, as all stories need to be. We get some good, because I bet there's quite a few games which have had good mechanics and like good combat and stuff released in the 10 years, but because the stories have been so insufferable and the art direction has become so, uniform and boring, not inspired, like there's still something in computer games. It's just like earlier I was talking about Flashback, all the component parts just mesh together perfectly. It seems like that's becoming quite rare at the moment. Like you might get a game which has got really nice control, looks nice, but then you've got these stupid little like agenda things hidden in there, or you've got this representation thing, or you've got the deconstruction of masculinity, or you haven't got the hero's tale properly. And it's like there's always something just to annoy you from it.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be what it was when I knew when I bought The Witcher 3 there was going to be nothing of that, and that was 10 years ago. And like I knew when I bought Sleeping Dogs there'd be nothing like that. I knew when I bought Skyrim there'd be nothing like that. And so you always half expect something to be thrown in somewhere which is going to just annoy you. But yeah, it doesn't need, like we were saying, it doesn't need to be just like an anti-trans thing that needs to change. That's kind of irrelevant. It's more like this like story development stuff and
it's just agendas. It's just having agendas in games. It's kind of like Well,
it turned me off to the point where I just stopped buying them. And every time I hear a new game is being released, my initial reaction is, I don't care anymore. Fortunately, there's like 25,000 games that I wouldn't mind playing from the past, but I don't want to be like that. This is my favorite hobby, and I'm reduced to just massive distrust towards a new game just because it's new. And probably a lot of other people think like that. It's like, what are they going to do to this? It's like Ocarina of Time remake. I'd love to get excited about playing a game with like I loved, one of the best of all time. But I'm just going to be on the lookout for stuff all the way through it.
That's the problem, isn't it, with that game? Yeah. It's never going to get a fair crack of the whip, is it? Because it's going to be over-critiqued.
Yeah,
in many different ways as well. I think your mic's gone off, Mike.
Yeah, I just realised I was muted. I think Ocarina is going to be relatively safe from that. I think it's just going to be... I think Nintendo are going to go the Star Fox route with that, and it'll be the original game just with fancied graphics and maybe a few quality of life improvements. I can't see them doing anything drastic. I think they'd be terrified to go away from the formula of Ocarina and do something new or original, because they know that it is such a revered game that if they were to stray too far away from what made Ocarina, people would be up in arms. So I think it's just going to be nice shiny graphics. I don't think it's going to be in the Breath of the Wild engine at all. I don't think like the levels are going to be redesigned. I think it's just going to be shiny graphics.
I think you're right, Mike. I agree with you on the Ocarina of Time, but I disagree on the Nintendo side. I don't think they give a shit. I really don't think they care what we think, what they do. As long as they're making money, and they know they could release Ocarina and it just be a picture of a potato on the screen, we'd still buy the fucking thing. That's the problem. The next Mario, we'll still buy it. The next Zelda, we'll still buy it. That's the problem. And Nintendo can get away with anything because they're not as bad as Sony or Xbox.
Yeah.
So, I think they're just rubbing their hands together at the minute. Nintendo, again, they're rubbing their hands together. They do it every fucking time.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be.
Say again. What's that, Hilly? Sorry.
Are you looking forward to Ocarina?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I've played it. If it's as Mike says, which I think it's gonna be the same, and just with nice graphics and better controls. Sure, it'll be great, but I ain't spending 50, 60 quid on something that I'm quite happy playing the N64 version. Graphics don't bother me. Do you know what I mean? I'm a retro gamer, so whatever. The kids want it, so I'll probably end up getting it, but not that fussed, to be honest.
Fair enough. Just interesting.
It's a hard game. That water temple can fuck right off, and if it's the same as the old water temple, I ain't doing that again. And then the shadow temple at the end. No, I'm all right. I'm all right.
You know what? We're talking about like, would they actually change Ocarina of Time? A little known fact is that in the first 6 months of Ocarina of Time's release, they did actually release not the first 6 months, between that release and the GameCube version.
Mm-hmm.
That was released with the Wind Waker. You remember, like the Master Quest?
Yeah, Master Quest, yeah.
So they did actually make a small change to that release, and it was because there was a supposed symbols near who's the people who are basically the Arabs? I forgot what they are.
Oh, the Shikas? Shikas?
Yeah, I think the Shikas, and basically there was a reference to like the Arabs or Islam. And they actually changed it.
Really?
Be less insensitive, yeah, or to not quite cause a ruckus. And I think it was just like a symbol. You'd have to Google and look into it. But I was like, wow, even back then they were changing something slightly.
Well, Nintendo did that all the time, though, didn't they? Nintendo took crosses out of everything in America and stuff like that. They were quite prominent with that shit back in the day.
The Mortal Kombat replacing blood with sweat.
Yeah. And they do some of that stuff with Castlevania. Yeah, Castlevania. Yeah.
Oh, really? They took the crosses out of things in Castlevania?
Yeah, they took everything that's represented a church out of Castlevania.
What? That's a great deal. I did not know that. Very interesting.
Quite a few games on. I'm not sure if it was the NES or the SNES version. Not sure, but quite a few games back then. They took every religious reference out of. No doubt, including a few Buddhist swastikas as well, which I kind of agree with, to be fair. But there you go.
Well, I don't think you should go to Japan and tell them to take it down.
No. But
there's a story like some white couple from France or America or England, whatever, some like libtard country, just like went to Tokyo and they got like swastikas on their subway station and they complained. And it's like this is like an Asian symbol for the Japanese. It's an Asian symbol for almost every race on earth. And they were complaining. Like, imagine the entitlement to go to the Japanese authorities and complain about like a really, really like, deep, meaningful symbol for them, and you're like saying you should take that down. Like, imagine if, like, we get told to do stuff all the time.
Well, I'll be honest, we can't fly a flag at the minute.
Yeah, so. we got told to take the flags down during the fucking World Cup.
Yeah, we get told to take
so. You know, it works in this country. They come over here and they tell us that we can't fly our national flag, and we fucking listen to them. So, you know,
we're a very good host. Too good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just made me laugh. That story did. It's just like, you can just imagine the insufferable woman who was complaining that this poor guy working at like the public transport office.
She's telling me to take this symbol of peace down. I just don't get it. I don't understand what the problem is.
What a fascist.
Yeah.
So, what games have we been playing, boys?
I was going to say, so all that to say that Hilly liked Flashback.
And that the agenda must be destroyed.
Yes. That's rant number 1 for this podcast, if anyone's keeping count.
All right. Okay, so Riot. Does anyone know anything about Riot?
No, but I can Google it right now in order to.
I don't know a lot about Riot, but I know that they produced League of Legends, Valorant.
Yeah.
There's another game they do that's quite popular.
Oh, right.
Yes. And also they do a game that I've spoken about a few times called 2XKO, which was released in January. It's a fighting game marketed as a beginner's fighting game. It has no complicated controls. You just press the buttons and it does everything for you. That was a lie. It's really complicated. Well, they've announced last week that they're shutting down 2XKO because it didn't reach the standards that they set out for it. It's one of the most popular fighting games in the last 20 odd years. The numbers are great. The tournaments are going great. But it's just not League of Legends numbers. So they're canning it. That's it. Gone.
Wow.
By December. So it's not even lasted a year. I don't know if they're gonna leave it online, but future development will be canned in December.
Was this a free game or was this pay to play?
It was a free game with paid DLC characters and costumes, much like Valorant, much like League of Legends.
So will anyone be getting refunds?
Yes, they've issued refunds. To be fair to Riot,
okay, right. That's something then, I guess.
But it leaves a big hole in fighting games that aren't Street Fighter 6. As we've spoke about before, Street Fighter 6 is a big steaming turd. But another game was released just recently by Sony, Marvel Tokon Fighters. Now, that released a week ago with an array, well, I say an array, almost 100% of issues for the PC port with lag, stuttering, latency, all this. And it's still not fixed yet, which is not good. So it works perfectly on PS5 unless they cross-play with a PC player and it lags the fuck out. People with 5070s are reporting like 30 frames max.
Wow.
When it's 60, or ideally for a fighting game, 120 frames per second. Because obviously it's frame perfect inputs. You know, you need to be inputting your buttons on the right frame and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just a shit show across the PC board altogether.
Yeah, I heard that it was because I was interested in this, and obviously PC is my, platform of choice nowadays.
Yeah.
And then when everything came out saying it is broken, completely broken on PC, I was like, well, I guess I'm not jumping on board this particular train.
I was so hyped for it. This was going to be my game. I've been watching this for a few years. I was like, this is the one. I'm waiting for this one because I like Marvel. I like fighting games. Perfect. But I'm so disappointed. Really disappointed. Because they will fix it. I know they will. But how long that takes leaves that gap between the people who played it on the PlayStations.
Yep.
The drop off for the casual audience. They ain't going to stand with this shit. And then you're left with the hardcore. And by that point, that's really not hardcore.
When you want to be introducing new players, when the fighting pool is basically sweats that have been on it from day one.
Yeah. You're fucked. You just can't learn because you can't press any buttons. You're getting battered. So that game's gone to me now already. It's only been released a week, and I can't invest in it because it doesn't work. And they're trying to patch it, but it still ain't working.
Yeah. It's that's kind of like par for the course with. So I know Sony have rolled back on PC stuff now with them saying that they're not bringing any exclusives over, but the games that they have brought over, like the ports of Last of Us, the Spider-Man ports, the God of War ports, even though they're in good states now, when they launched day one, they always had issues. All of them, every single one. And I just don't think that they put the focus that they need to into the PC side of things. Obviously PlayStation is clearly the lead platform. And that's all they're interested in.
Yeah,
so
I get that. I mean, rumor is for Marvel Token Fighters, it's the anti-cheat system they're using.
That doesn't surprise me.
But they've put this anti-cheat in, and it's just wrecking. It's wrecking the game.
What's it using? Do you know?
I think it's Easy Cheat. I think.
Yeah, Easy Cheat fucks with my PC, and I've got nothing on my PC whatsoever. But like the times where I've gone onto anything that uses Easy Anti-Cheat, I always have issues. I have random crashes, freezes up, stuff like that, and I just get to the point where I'm like, well, fuck this, and I bail on those games. So
yeah, it's weird though, because I was reading an article with a guy who he bought it for PC and he got it on a 5080. Doesn't mean anything to me. I just know it's a good graphics card, and he getting 45 frames a second out of it. But then he puts it on his laptop with his 1650, which is the same as mine. He's getting 60 frames solid on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2D fighting game. It shouldn't really need anything like a 5080 to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
and it's like, it's such a disappointment. I'm really disappointed with that. And that just leaves me with another fighting game that came out a couple of months ago called Avatar: The Last Airbender Fighting Legends, which is just it's a great game. The game's great, but they released it without ranked, without online lobbies, without like any like single player stuff. There's a story in an arcade, but released it bare bones, which again, as I said with the Marvel, the casual audience, they're gone.
Have you kept an eye on the Invincible fighting game at all?
Yeah, that's died same. That died
dead.
The same. Yeah. So that's 4 fighting games this year that have just dropped off the face of the earth.
Right.
And I think it's due to over expectation. I think because Street Fighter did so well with the numbers, people are developers are expecting the same, especially Riot. They're expecting like millions of people to play, but fighting games are well niche. You know, you're lucky if you've got 40 people playing Street Fighter 4 or something.
There seems to be a cap on the audience for fighting games, and if they are balls deep into something, then they're very unlikely to jump over onto something else.
100%. Once you've got your game, you've got your game. But yeah, Marvel, Tokon, massive disappointments. Sort it out, Sony. Someone was saying that, is it Paramount that's got something to do with Marvel? Oh no, that was Avatar. Someone was saying they rushed it out to match with Spider-Man or some
Marvel's
shit.
Disney.
That was it. It might be Disney then.
Yeah.
They tried to rush it out to meet a deadline with something, and they shouldn't have done, and all yada yada yada. Same old shit.
Another game that should have been left in the oven for another 6 months before being released. Yeah,
that's it. But
I don't think, like you say, I don't think you can afford to do that with a fighting game because you've got such a small window to actually capture your audience.
Well, they totaled around 500,000 sales for the first week for a Marvel game. 500,000 is nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's like, what the fuck?
Let me just have a quick look on Steam.
Okie dokie.
See how many
but yeah, the marketing was limited. You know, it was just lackluster. Like almost they got partway through it and didn't care in a way. The game looks fantastic. It looks brilliant. And people are playing it, said it's good, but you can't play it on PC.
Ooh.
Go on.
3,000 people are currently on Steam playing that game.
Week 1.
3,000.
Fucking week 1. It's not a good look, is it?
Oh, that's got a sting.
If I knew how to find how many people are playing online, I'd look at Street Fighter 6 now, but I don't know how to do it.
Okay. Well, you just you go on Steam and you just go into Community Hub and.
Okay. But yeah, it's such a disappointment. I mean, that's not picking up, is it? They're not suddenly going to get another 10,000 people playing it, are they?
So I mean, 7,200 are on Street Fighter 6 at the moment.
There you go, and that's a 4-year-old game.
Yep.
Stark difference. And I'd say Marvel was a bigger IP than Street Fighter, to be honest.
Well, you would think so, especially with the publicity of a new Marvel. Well, the biggest Marvel film of all time, I think it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's made $2 billion at the box office. So with the publicity for that, you would.
And as you said, with Street Fighter being 4 years old, it's it's the sweaty lads playing it now, isn't it?
Yeah. So
it's the grind.
Yeah, those 7,000 are the absolute sweats, and they've stuck around for 4 years, and it's double the player base of a game that just launched a week ago.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
That's dead in the water. Yeah, this is kind of Sony all over, isn't it? You know, yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Fucking burying themselves. I did play a good game though recently. I got a game called Heave Ho 2. for the Switch 2. Now this is it's a physics-based game. You control a blob who's got 2 arms, and he's got obviously a left arm and a right arm. So you use your left trigger to hold on with your left hand, and your right trigger to hold on with your right hand. And it's 4-player, so we've had it on with all 4 Joy-Cons. The whole family have been playing this game, and you have to get over to the goal on the other side by swinging each other across, or you got obstacles to go over and stuff like that. But the beauty in it is, my youngest daughter's 5. She's really struggling with it, and it took us a good half hour to get over this, like 5 or 6 levels that are just too far out of reach. So you have to swing someone over, and then they grab on, then you swing over. Took us half an hour to get over. And if you hold your A button, your character does a fart. And as we landed the last 2 into the net at the end, my daughter held for a mega fart, which just blew everyone out the exit. We failed the level, and there was fists, kicks, hair pulling, and all
straight to bed.
Brilliant.
Get to bed. Yeah.
She just stood there and went, "It's not fair. She farted me off." It's just like, amazing. That's now a saying in our family. Stop farting me off. Fucking one of the best games I've played in a long time.
It's giving me very like World of Goo vibes.
Yeah, it is very World of Goo. It's just the art of communication.
Yeah.
The fun isn't in finishing the level. The fun is in not finishing the level, if you know what I mean. Fucking each other up a little bit.
Yeah. I think co-op games are kind of coming back with a bit of a resurgence, isn't that? Is it Go Walk or something? Or
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
I'll have a look.
I can't remember. That's like I think you can have up to like 8 players on that one, and you've all got to kind of like communicate and talk to each other and then head off and do your own thing. But that's a co-op kind of game.
Nice. I'll have a look. I'm getting into the couch co-op with the girls, so it's all good.
Yeah. Have you been playing anything else, Hilly?
No, I can't really recall what I've been playing, to be fair. I was thinking about it before I came on earlier. So I've definitely played more than Flashback. And I can't really remember. Flashback's kind of just like taking everything at the moment. I've been looking into a game on the Saturn called the Hanshin. What's the Hanshin? The Mansion of Hidden Souls. I don't know if anyone's heard of this game.
No.
That's going to be my next game. The Hanshin. What the hell's going on with my brain? And that looks amazing on the Saturn. Like, I think there's a Mega CD version of it.
That's what's come up when I've just Googled it. It's the Mega CD version.
What kind of game is it?
That's not the one. That's not the one you want to be touching at all. Apparently, the Sega Saturn version is a stone cold hidden classic, and I'm going to be diving into that.
I'm not going to lie, mate. Looking at the reviews for the Sega CD or the Mega CD version, as it should be rightly known, it's got some pretty stellar reviews. So,
is it?
Yeah.
Well, just imagine how good the Sega Saturn version is, and if the Sega CD version has got that. And I've also got a Call of Cthulhu game that I'm going to be playing as well after Flashback. Not sure if I'll be playing it in confluence with Mansion of the Hidden Souls, and that's the one from the original Xbox.
That scares me. That does.
What's that?
Just Cthulhu in the title. I think it's gonna be deep, really deep lore.
It's called The Dark Corners of the Earth, so it does sound quite scary. Apparently, it's brilliant, and it has that Eternal Darkness style, like insanity meter thing. And apparently. I've never played. You know what? I've never played Eternal Darkness properly. That's crazy. Yeah, apparently it's just as good. So I'm looking forward to that.
Eternal Darkness is tough to go back to because of GameCube controls. Same way that Mario Sunshine was tough to go back to. It's just a bit clunky playing.
Right.
But were you playing Mario Sunshine with the original controls, or since it's just come to the Nintendo Switch online, have you remapped the camera to more traditional?
I've not dabbled yet, no,
Have you not
but I will be definitely dabbling into that.
Yeah, I had a quick bash on it. The thing so I remember really enjoying Sunshine back on the GameCube. What I don't remember is not being able to skip the cutscenes, and the cutscenes drive me fucking mad because they're terrible. The cutscenes are really bad in that fucking game. Yeah,
is that one of those games where you can skip it only on the second time?
No.
Right, because when I worked in the industry, yeah, that was a thing that I kept pushing to our devs was skippable cutscenes are a must. Either you can skip entirely, or they were like, no, because you need it. EA have told us that you need to have the cutscene unskippable so you know what the story is.
Yeah, EA are talking out their ass.
Well, at least just have it so it's once unskippable, and every time afterwards you can skip it. Because I was like, honest to God, cutscenes can drive you mad, and that was based on, I think, my frustration with Mario Sunshine at the time.
Yeah.
When
I was playing that when I worked at Eurocom, and I remember just being like, what? Why do I have to listen to this crap again and again and again?
Yeah. When the Dolphin emulator first came out, I remember trying to play Mario Sunshine, and the cutscenes would work at 60 frames a second or 50 frames because I was playing the PAL version. And I've seen Peach on that fucking plane at the beginning with a note in her hand 1,000 times. Then as soon as it got to the squid that Mario fights at the beginning, it just tanked. And I was like, oh, I need to change the setting. You must restart your game to change this setting. And then I'm watching Peach on the fucking plane again. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Thousands of times.
Well, apart from that, I've got a lot of heart for that game. I've got a lot of heart for it.
I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna continue on with it because it's either harder than I remember, or there is a little bit of input lag because I'm missing jumps that I really shouldn't be. So I don't know if that's down to the emulator or whatever whatever source they're using to put it on the Switch, but it feels a little bit stodgy for a Mario game.
Are you playing it? What are you playing on? The 3D All Stars?
No, Switch 2.
Switch 2 version. I played on 3D All Stars and it was great.
Yeah, but this is through the because it's an emulator on Nintendo Switch, so it's not a native version of the game, and it's also the GameCube version. It's not widescreen. It's the 4:3 version. So it's literally the GameCube version that's running on Switch through emulation.
Why didn't they put the one from 3D All Stars that they've up-resed onto Online Plus?
To probably preserve the perceived value of 3D All Stars, considering it was a limited.
Buy it anymore, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. But if they were to,
that's true.
Yeah, it was a limited release, wasn't it? You could
it was a 6-month release. You could buy it online for 6 months or physical for 6 months, and then end print. Done.
So it preserves the kind of luster for that game, isn't it? If it's locked literally to that original release, makes it. So
keep a hold of that, Haley, because that would be worth a lot of money one day.
Yeah.
Well, it probably won't because they probably sold millions of copies, but
Yeah, but if anyone wants a copy now, I think they're like 18, 90 quid.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
I was looking last year and I couldn't find a copy for less than 90 quid.
I still check Facebook Marketplace for Switch games in hopes that it's just a loose cartridge in a thingy every now and again.
Yeah. Well, I've got some empty cases. I've ordered some empty cases coming because for whatever reason I cannot find my case for Metroid Dread. So I've had to go on to the cover. Is it the cover database or something? The cover project.
To
get a scan, and I've got a decent printer, so I'll print a copy of that out. So I've actually got something to protect the cartridge. I don't know where the case has gone. I haven't got a clue. So
that's right, CEX. When Mike comes in, check his covers.
Just going to print one. I'm not going to go into CEX and sell them. I'm going to keep holding these things. Although I was thinking, because I've got the Zelda version of the Switch One, which is literally underneath my bed, in the box, just doing nothing. And rather than like just leaving it there, I was thinking about
Yeah, it's worth doing. You get yourself a new controller or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, because
They sell all sorts in there now. There was a synthesizer in the one in Derby the other day that I was keeping my eye on.
Oh, really?
A bit too expensive for me, but you know, everything they sell now. It's a bit like cash generator nowadays, to be honest. Have you seen that CEX have announced they're opening retro stores rather than buy sell trade stores? They're going into the retro collecting market and opening 2 stores in Britain in the near future.
Okay.
Yes. There's money in it, so they're going for it.
So looking on eBay now, there's a copy of Mario 3D All Stars for 44 quid, one for 50 quid, one for 80 quid, one for 75 quid, a loose cart for 37 quid. I'm very suspicious of the 44 quid one though, when everything else is skeptical about that one. Yeah, probably a fake copy, but if it works, it works.
Well, I'll leave it until it's. I'd take 200 for that. Happily. Swap it for like I don't know, something. RAM.
Yeah, RAM. It is at a premium. Holy shit.
It's a corner of RAM.
Is gaming going to get dialed backwards due to the RAM crisis, do you think?
I hope so.
Do you think we're going to start seeing games that are easier to play on your lower systems because obviously they're limiting their market at the minute, aren't they?
I mean, the fact that we're at a point now where games are coming in at over 100 gig, 100 like what was I looking at the other day? That was like 140 gig to download. And I was like, for that game, what the fuck? I think it was a fighting game.
No.
Yeah. Hang on.
Jeez, it must be Tekken or something.
Mate, I think it was Street Fighter. Hang on.
I went to download GTA 5 the other day, and that's 99 gigs for the legacy version, and I ain't got enough room for it.
The size of that game, I can understand, but like...
Yeah, oh yeah, totally, yeah.
Yeah, like the size of games are ridiculous, and I think just from the development side of things, like we were talking about before, the fact that they take so long to actually make now, like, do we really need all of these games that take, 50, 60, 70 hours to complete? I'd be happy with,
See,
more
I
12-hour games.
I heard something on a podcast. I'm sure it was Sean Bell on TCGS who said it. What they do is like, say, they've got duplicate textures, or say you've got a cupboard in a kitchen at the beginning of the game, and then a cupboard in the kitchen at the end of the game.
Too.
It was Helldivers, yeah. Rather than calling back to the first texture you used, they just duplicated it.
Yeah, so it was the read speeds on the
yeah,
disc.
That's it.
Yeah, because when it released, people were putting it on hard drives as opposed to SSDs.
Yeah,
and obviously mechanical discs spin, and the head has to read it. So if it puts it at multiple points on the save file on the disc, then it's quicker to actually load it in. It's like the same theory as a spinning disc in a disc drive.
Yeah.
Was it GTA 3 did the same thing back in the day? They had multiple versions of like trees or fire hydrants on the disc, physically kind of like encoded on the layers of the disc. So the actual laser head didn't have to travel to find one fire hydrant. Yeah.
Every time you're traveling down like that, doesn't it? But it's like, it explains why games could be so big, because if they're doing that, then it's like obviously twice the data, isn't it? So
yeah. So Helldivers 2, when they did this, was a few months ago. I think it was about 6 months ago that they did this. You could elect. So when Helldivers 2 came out, I think it was around about like 80 gigs or something like that, maybe closer to 100 gigs. It was pretty big. And about 6 months ago, if you went onto like the Helldivers store page on Steam, there was an option to install a different version of Helldivers, and in brackets it had kind of like something to distinguish it, and basically it told you that this was the same version of the game, everything was included. However, due to them removing duplicate files out of it, they were able to shrink it down. And if I go into Helldivers now on my Steam, it's gone from being like close to 100 gigs to 22.25 gigs.
Wow.
So they massively reduced it down. Massively.
Jeez. And with an SSD, that doesn't matter, does it?
No.
Because
not at all.
Yeah, it's not a disk
Not
base.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
So insane. Yeah. I'm just trying to find.
Oh yeah, Helldivers 2, 22.25.
Yeah.
I've got that game, and I've apparently played it for 7 hours, but I don't remember any of it.
I really enjoy it. I think it's great. Yeah. I think it's great.
Sure it is. Sure it's lovely.
Okay, so what have I been playing? I was really excited for a game that came out a couple of weeks ago called Beast of Reincarnation.
I've not heard that about Mike. Hang on.
Yeah. Beast of Reincarnation is a third-person RPG type game where you play as a female character with a Raiden hat, and she has a giant white wolf at the side of her.
Oh. You're piquing my interests here.
Yeah. Well, hold your horses, sunshine. So,
okay.
The unique selling point of this game was the female character, who I cannot remember her name, unfortunately, because she was very, very bland and monotonous and just flat out boring. Her combat style was real time. So, striking with a sword and jumping and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Your wolf companion was turn-based, however. So, yeah, so you could fight as her, and at any point, you could press a button on your controller, and you could call up his abilities. The action would slow down, and you get kind of like an ability wheel up, and he could effectively cast spells or do certain attacks. And he had attack points based on your melee combat. So you weren't able to just spam his attacks or spells, because you would run out of attack points and then you'd have to do your melee combat to build them back up.
Right.
So it was supposed to work in kind of like, symbiosis with each other.
That's an interesting idea.
The trailers looked incredible. I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm all over this. And then I got my hands on it and I was like, this is not what it promised to be. It's just so fucking boring. Within 2 hours, I felt like I'd seen everything that I was going to see in the game, which is a real shame. The storytelling was just so flat. I just couldn't get invested in the characters. The world felt weirdly kind of empty and basic. It felt like a really kind of stripped down version of Nier Automata in all the wrong ways.
Right.
You have it's not an open world game, but you have large environments to kind of traverse around and go around and explore. And there's fuck all in them. And the little items that you do find in there, it gives the onboarding's awful. It doesn't tell you, you'll start collecting all of these items and pickups, and you have no idea what they do. It doesn't tell you. You're just picking them up for whatever reason. So, yeah, I fell off that really hard, and I was really disappointed. I thought that could have been a really interesting proposition, because I thought, from all of the trailers and everything, it looked like it was going to be great. But
that combat system sounds awesome, to be honest.
The combat is fun, but it just feels, I don't know, it just doesn't go anywhere, unfortunately. And after I fell off it, I was kind of like, should I give this a second go? So I watched a few reviews on it online, and one of the main criticisms was the further into the game that it gets, the more repetitive it feels, because it doesn't, you fight the same enemy types over and over and over again. It doesn't really progress in any meaningful way. So you get more powerful by ranking up your skill tree and the wolf skill tree and stuff like that, unlocking new abilities, but you're fighting the same basic characters over and over again. And even the bosses are just variants on the same bosses that you come across. And the fact that the world I couldn't engage with it at all within, the first, like the key time that you need to actually invest in the story right at the start of it. It just felt bland, empty, and kind of dead. So that's probably my biggest disappointment this year when it comes to games, because I was actually really looking forward to that one, and I've been massively burned by that one, unfortunately. So yeah, that's a hard pass on Beast of Reincarnation, unfortunately.
Do you think the game, like, developers get to a point with a game like that and think, oh, we've got to release it? It's a bit shit, but we've got to release it. They must do. Surely they must do. Because someone must play it. They're one of the testers. There's got to, like Hilly said when he mentioned about Buffy and stuff. Someone must be mentioning it's a bit bland, lads. Do we need to add a bit to it? You know what I mean?
I think because this game was developed by Game Freak, and they are known for all of the Pokemon games.
They are, yeah.
Now, I don't know fuck all about Pokemon games. Haven't played any of them. Can't really.
Well, I mean, one thing can be said for Pokemon is it's not bland.
No, but I think they're probably so used to doing, because I think predominantly that's all they've done for the last however many years. When it comes to jumping outside the wheelhouse of what they're used to, I don't know. It's just not what they're focused on, maybe not what they're good at anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Or that when they first developed it, they just filled all the empty spaces with Pokemon, and then someone said, "Well, you can't do that," and so that's take them all out.
Yeah, it feels empty and soulless. So yeah,
that's a shame.
Yeah, because this could, like, the art style on it, this could have been like.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
I mean,
really nice.
Have you guys seen like Princess Mononoke?
Of course. Yeah.
This could have been like that game.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of when I was because I was really bummed out on this one. I was so looking forward to it, and like I said, the trailers made it look incredible. And unfortunately, it's just a very, very hollow game that came out of it. So yeah, bummed out on that one.
Same.
Yeah, luckily enough, a couple other games came out that's kind of kept my attention. So I know I said I wasn't really gonna delve into it. I had no interest in it, but I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna pick up Splatoon Raiders on the Switch 2.
Okay.
Which is basically. Have you guys played any of the Splatoon games?
I was about to say, have you played the original Splatoons?
I jumped on from Splatoon 2 and I played Splatoon 3, and I didn't really. I enjoyed 2, and I didn't really vibe with 3. Couldn't get on with 3 for whatever reason, even though it was just more of 2. It was just something about it.
Can't remember which one I played, but I did enjoy the aspect of painting the floor and diving into the paint.
Yes.
But that was about it.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was all right. I had a good time.
This is it does have a multiplayer element to it, but it's co-op. But it's effectively a single player game, and it is the Salmonid run from 3. I don't know if it was in 2. I don't remember it being in 2.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, which is basically just a glorified horde mode. So you'll get dropped into a map, and there'll be a treasure chest somewhere on that map, and you've got to work your way to the treasure chest while destroying a whole array of evil fish. So it's third-person shooting using the ink guns of the previous Splatoon games. You do get power-ups. You do get weapon upgrades. You get a choice of 3 different ink tanks. There's a tactical ink tank, there's a power ink tank, and there's a speed ink tank. Each one of them have their own kind of like ultimate attack as well, which builds up as you're shooting. The action, the shooting action builds up your ultimate monitor, and then you can release that and take out massive hordes in one fell swoop. It's fun for a time, but it's very repetitive. It's getting incredible reviews across the board, like 8s and 9s across the board. But I've seen credits on it. It's kind of kept me entertained for a moment in time, but I don't know. It's just one of those, like, most of the levels can be done in like 3 minutes. And because of that, you'd never really, it's very easy to pick up and play if you've got like 5 minutes free. So you can just pick up, do a level, put it down and walk away from it, kind of thing. I don't know if I actually got, I've got a spider crawling down in front of my monitor here. Hello, mate. I don't know if I actually got any better at the game, or if I just got to the point where I was leveling up my weapons and my gadgets to the point where they were doing all of the work. Because it just, there's a lot of enemies thrown at you at any one point. It's not difficult per se. It gives you kind of like difficulty levels when you go into it. You can kind of like play it on standard or what they call spicy. So if you hit it on spicy, then all of the enemies are, leveled higher than what you are, or super spicy, you get taken out in one hit. But if you've got your kind of guns and your gadgets sufficiently ranked up, you can just throw them out and they'll kind of like take care of 80% of the work for you. So, yeah, and I kind of just, it throws so many different types of guns and gadgets at you. I just ended off falling into a loadout that worked for me in most scenarios, and I never felt like I was experimenting with any of the different types of weapons. I just found one that I kind of liked the feel of and stuck with it until the end of the game, which kind of isn't the point of that kind of game, because it is a bit of a looter shooter. You get loads of guns thrown at you.
I tend to do that with all competitive games,
This isn't competitive though. It's UV salmonids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every game like that, I tend to do that. I find one thing, like Call of Duty, even on zombies, I find the gun I like.
Yeah.
And I just stick with it.
Yeah.
Fighting games, I pick one character, I stick with it. Overwatch, I found one character and stuck with it. I always do that. I don't know why. Never experiment. Strange.
Yeah, this seems like a game built around. What's that, mate?
I do exactly the same as Dean. Like pick an RPG and it's just like a white Nord warrior.
Yeah.
That's it. Play on no battleground. I've used the same machine gun and shotgun combo forever.
Yeah. Weird, isn't it? I guess it's because it's your comfort zone, I suppose.
Yeah.
But then in like a horde game, as you say, you've got the room to experiment, haven't you?
You have, because it, like I say, there's a lot of weapons and there's even more gadgets to experiment with. But I haven't used like 85-90% of them. So I've ranked up all of the tanks. You get 3 tanks, like I said before, and the more you use them, the more you rank them up, and then you get to the point where you've kind of like got a maximum affinity with the tanks, and the ultimates that you're able to call in with them. So I did that, but it didn't. I didn't find like it really made any difference what tank you were using, because you found what you were comfortable with and just cracked on with that. And like I say, I got all the way to credits just by using effectively like 1 or 2 loadouts. I didn't change that up at all very much. So yeah, but again, because the majority of the levels are done in kind of like less than 5 minutes, it's relatively easy pick up and play. Another criticism is I felt like it was sometimes difficult. I use my Switch handheld predominantly. Like for me, it's a handheld console, and I found that because it was throwing so many enemies at you at any one time, especially in some of the later levels, the small screen was way too crowded, and your character was way too small. So yeah, it was difficult to see, especially when it's splashing ink across you and you got all of these kind of like, fluid effects going on around you and you got all of these enemies around you. It was difficult to find your character in the kind of like melee of it all sometimes. So you would end off losing one of your lives just because you can't see your character anymore and you can't get out of trouble. So that was a little bit frustrating, but I mean, if you're playing on TV on a bigger screen, then I'm sure that kind of issue would be mitigated somewhat anyway. So
I found that with a lot of games on like the Steam Deck or the Switch 2, the more grander the game, the harder I'm finding it on the small screen because there's just too much going on. Like some of the AAA games on the Steam Deck, it's just like I can't really do it. It's just too much.
Yeah, some games that I thought would be good to play on Steam Deck, like your Devil May Cry's and Bayonetta, stuff like that. Like, yeah, those I wanted to play those handheld, and they don't work very well because they weren't designed for such a small screen. So
yeah, that's it.
You know, the camera angle over the shoulder's too far back, or whatever it is, so your character gets lost in the weeds. So I've kind of tried to be a little bit more conscious of the games that I'm playing on the Steam Deck now to kind of like mitigate that. That's my choice. You know, there's no point playing this game because I know it's not going to work well on handheld and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
one of those things that you just have to kind of like be aware of. Yeah, so Splatoon, pretty fun. Your mileage may vary on that one, but yeah, fine for pick up and play.
It's another Switch 2 exclusive though, so hats off to Nintendo.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
The ball is slowly rolling.
Can't knock them for that. Only other game that I've played is a recent one, which came out the other day, Mortal Shell 2. So I was getting the itch to play Elden Ring again, and then Mortal Shell 2 came along, which is kind of like a Souls-like type game. I never played the first one. I do have the first one. I got it free through the Epic Game Store, I think. But I never played it. I never got around to it. But apparently Mortal Shell 2 is completely self-contained. You don't have to have any prior knowledge of the other game to enjoy this one. I mean, it's a Souls-like where you play as basically like this husk, like a dead husk, which is able to inhabit shells, which effectively is your different character classes. But in order to inhabit those shells, you have to find them first. You're not given them. I think there's like 8 or 9, something like that. You're thrown into a map, which map design so far is really nice. Like very, very kind of like atmospheric. The art style is really good. It's actually very nice to look at. The vistas that you get, there's lots of cliff tops and kind of like castles off in the distance, and the graphics are really nice. Like there's a haze, there's like a mist of haze across the whole thing, which isn't there to hide, you know, anything in particular, like the old N64 days, you know, where they would have the fog and you, yeah. But it's just there to lend this kind of like atmosphere of just there's a sense of, I don't know, like something heavy in the air, and it's it's a handsome game. The character designs for the enemies are pretty cool. Really weird, actually. There's a lot of kind of bony protrusions in some of the enemies that you fight, and then some of them are just giant tree monsters and giant frogs and all this kind of stuff. Very, very kind of like interesting art style when it comes to the enemies. I have heard one of the criticisms is that this one also repeats the enemies towards the end of the game. So we'll see how I get on with that. Combat's pretty cool so far, but I don't find it as engaging as like Sekiro or Elden Ring. I feel it's a bit more simplistic than that. You don't get to choose your loadout. You just get given a sword at the start of the game. And so far, I've only found one additional sword for melee combat. So I've got 2 swords. You start off with a shotgun as well, which is a nice addition. So you can use that as kind of like a last ditch, you know, get away from me kind of thing. But I've also unlocked a crossbow. So yeah, it's whereas Elden Ring's chucking weapons at you left, right, and center, and armor sets left, right, and center. This isn't that. This is kind of like your shells are your different character classes. They all have ability trees that are separate. And What else? Oh, yeah. Frustrations with it. Frustrations. When I've been fighting, I've died an awful lot, not to the enemies, but by falling off a cliff or falling off a sheer edge while I'm in combat, which shouldn't fucking happen. Because it just like I'm not even getting knocked back. I'm just kind of like walking backwards to retreat, and because there's a fucking cliff behind me or there's a sheer fall behind me, I'm falling off that, and you just die. Like there's no jump in this game, which I'm finding frustrating. And I know that there's Souls games that don't feature jumps, but in a one way you can easily fall off a cliff and get stuck on like a little ledge underneath that you could easily hop back over if you had a jump ability. Like it would save so many needless deaths, and the amount of kind of like XP that I've lost through shitty little deaths like that. I don't mind dying to enemies. Don't mind dying to enemies because it's the whole get good thing, you know, learning the patterns and all that kind of stuff. But like, give me a chance. Like, don't make the terrain fucking like just put an invisible wall there if we're fighting so you don't fall off it, because there's lots. The way that the map or certain areas of the map are designed, it is all cliff faces that you kind of like going through this mountainous range. So you're following very narrow paths around some sections, and you've got enemies there, and they're not knocking you off. You're just literally falling off.
I know exactly what you're on about. I can't remember what game it was, but I was playing a game where it had like Z targeting, like Zelda, and you'd lock onto your character enemy and then like circle around them and still fall off the cliff. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's so frustrating. And some of the deaths, like I say, could have been kind of like prevented if I just had a jump. But you feel really gimped in the fact that you don't have a jump function on that. But so far, this is actually turning out to be, you know, pretty enjoyable. It's nowhere near on the level of like a FromSoft game, I would say, at the moment. It's definitely not anywhere near like Sekiro. It's definitely not anywhere near Elden Ring. But it is enjoyable. It's probably...
What is it you enjoy about Souls games?
If that's not too deep of a question. So funny you said that, Dean, because I was literally about to say to him, like, you know what? I'm really curious as to what it is I'm missing, because I just don't get.
I can't stand it.
Don't get it.
The first Souls game I played was Elden Ring. And that's where I kind of like got the bug for it, because there's just that for me is probably like the best game. I've played. When you were asking the question, like what, like, is there any game up there like that? Elden Ring for me, easily.
Witcher, I mean, you're 3, not the only person to say that at all.
It's incredible, and it's not through story or anything like that, because you're just kind of like left in there to go and wander. It's like I've said it before. It's like an adult version of Breath of the Wild. Like you just dumped in the world, and you can go in any direction, and any direction that you want. If something catches your eye, you know something's going to be over there. So it's just such a well-designed game.
That fills me with so much anxiety because I'm missing something over that way or over that way or over that way. That I can't do that. The Breath of the Wild, and that was the worst part of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom for me. Just the freedom, because I didn't want to miss anything. And then I found myself just trying to trace every little corner of every nook and cranny, just in case there was something there. And it almost spoiled Tears of the Kingdom for me, until I just said, Dean, just follow the fucking main quest, you dickhead. Just follow that rather than try to explore.
I mean, you can't. There's not really a main quest to follow in Elden Ring, though, because it's all kind of, you find the main quest through exploration. So, you know,
right?
Yeah,
I
don't think I could hack it.
I like the challenge of the combat as well. And
yeah, I didn't get the combat. You know what was funny though? I remember the first of my friends who said to me, "Get good," and I was like I'm seriously good at like fighting games.
Yeah,
and you're telling me to get good. So and it kind of just wound me up a little bit, because I was like, but I don't know how you get good at it. Like, so I played Elden Ring for about 2 hours, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a chance because it looks amazing. I had no idea it was a FromSoft game. I had no idea it was a Souls game.
Right.
And then I quickly realised once I got out the first bit, it got to the top and you're on top of that like place. It's like Dark Souls.
Yeah. So
and I just don't get the combat. It's like the games are just not finished, or
yeah, I agree.
Missing. It clicks with some people and doesn't click with other people. So I'm like, the combat, it doesn't work.
The thing,
what is the combat?
The combat,
anything to the combat.
The combat,
I don't get it.
Does work, but you've got to go and get yourself a build. Which, you know,
but which build, Mike? Because you might be missing something by not using the right thing.
100%, but it doesn't matter. Like that's where the replay value comes into games like that. People literally play that game for hundreds of hours and they've still not seen all of the game, which I kind of like appreciate in a way. But when I first played Elden Ring, I played it on the Series X. I got it on console. This was before I even had my PC. And I must have put about 120, 150 hours into that game. And I didn't see credits. I didn't get to the end of it on the Xbox. And then for one reason or another, I kind of like fell off it. And then I built my first PC. And then I was like, oh, Elden Ring, I'm going back onto it. Definitely going back onto it. I'm looking at my Steam playtime. I put another 120 hours into it on PC. So, like, you know, I've played that game for roughly, 250, maybe 300 hours. And I've loved every minute of it. I genuinely loved every minute of it. It's been frustrating as hell, especially when you kind of like, you've leveled up your character and you're kind of convinced that you should be able to take out this boss or this one random enemy that's just wandering around on a fucking horse in the middle of a field somewhere and he kicks your ass in one hit. But then, like, you'll just you'll find your rhythm, you'll figure out the enemy patterns, you'll figure out the moves, or you'll go and you'll change something up, you'll find a spell, or you'll find another weapon that unlocks a different ability, and you'll come back and you'll kick the shit out of him. You know, the freedom is the best thing about that game. You like if something is kicking your ass.
That's it. That's the thing I was finding, Mike. It was like I'd come across a boss and I'd be like, "This is impossible."
Yeah,
I didn't get it. I was like, "Hang on a minute, what have I got to do here?" And I couldn't figure out what I'd got to do because it isn't like other games where you notice patterns and like you've got to just hit someone at the back of the head or something. And I think you've explained it well. Like you actually might not be able to beat him. You just got to go and find something.
That's
and then come back.
That's the thing about Elden Ring. It's kind of like you will just be following the path up to wherever you're trying to get to, and there will be a brick wall in front of you. And that is the game's indication to you that you are free to turn around and just go somewhere else and look at something else. There's no rush in that game. You don't have to, do this now. Go away, go and explore something. Because literally, you can find something where I need to get through here, but I can't get past this guy because he's kicking my ass. And you'll just turn to the left or turn to the right and you'll see something and you'll be like, something will catch your eye. And you're like, oh, that's weird. There's just something over there. And you'll go over there and there will be something worth your while. And invariably, that something over there will help you get past the next part of the game. It's such an incredibly well-designed game when it comes to that aspect of exploration and reward. Nothing else touches it. It's so good. And like I say,
there is a definite split of people who just don't get it, and then people are like, these games are phenomenal and just world-beating. And then you got people like myself who are just, it just like passes by me.
It could be one of those games where, like, we talked about it a few weeks ago. It could be one of those games where you just kind of like you bump up against it, but you might come back to it in a couple of years' time, and then all of a sudden it just makes sense. That might be one of those games. But I fully get that some people will always bump off it because of the extreme difficulty at some places. And Elden Ring isn't, from what I understand, Elden Ring isn't the hardest of the FromSoft games by a country mile. And I can believe that because I struggle with Sekiro a lot more than what I do with Elden Ring. There's just something about Sekiro. I think Sekiro is a much harder game. I don't know if it's
I've tried that. It's a nice game. That is. I didn't get on with it, but it's a very nice looking game. I like the Chinese style samurai thing.
There's good vibe to that. I do like it. So, off the back of Elden Ring, I've tried other Souls-likes. Like I tried that Lies of P. I kind of bounced off that because I wasn't really feeling it. I tried the first Berserker Kazan, which has got a nice cel-shaded type art style, and that's actually a pretty cool game. That's like an anime version of a Souls-like. There's a bunch that I've tried just off the back of Elden Ring. Bloodborne went back and yeah. I've just watched a video. Apparently,
they're disappointed. I'd wanted to play Bloodborne for years and years and years, and I finally bought PS4, got Bloodborne, and I was like, "Oh no, it's a Souls game." I had no idea. I just thought it looked so cool, and like the box art and like the random little trailers I saw, and then bought the thing, and it was a Souls game.
But it's the best Souls game by from what everyone says. Like Bloodborne is the best Souls game. So,
I did the same with a game called Blasphemous, which is a 2D Metroidvania. Souls-like. Hard as fucking nails. It's ridiculous. Too hard for me for in my 10-minute gameplays. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, it's just kicking my ass. Looks beautiful though.
Well, it's like the Silk Song. That's effectively just a Souls-like, but in 2D as well, isn't it? So
that came and went, didn't it? Silk Song.
I think it was too hard for people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Even people who played the first one were like, this is too much.
Hollow Knight was hard enough, and Silk Song was supposed to be even harder. Jeez.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, to be honest. It's a bit too daunting for me, I think. It's because Hollow Knight was a big game. I didn't finish that. I'm not ready for another big Metroidvania at all.
Well, Metroidvanias intimidate me. Like, there's something about Metroid games which I get put off because I just think I'd have to put so much time in them. And I never really and the puzzles of Metroid games have never really clicked with me for some reason. Like, I almost finished Metroid Prime and 2, and I played 2 for a bit. I really enjoyed them both, but I never actually finished both of them. But never 2D games. Like, Super Metroid on the SNES is one of the hardest games I've ever played, personally.
Still one of the best games ever.
Really get it. It didn't really. Some games like puzzles just make perfect sense to me, or like the kind of puzzles, like Tomb Raider. I could play an original Tomb Raider game, and like that just clicks with me. But like with difficulty, like a bullet hell game, I could get into any bullet hell game, and I get it, and I get why they're so difficult and why they're so good, and I could really get into a bullet hell game. I love like old school shooters, but the Dark Souls stuff and Metroid style games, like Mega Man as well. That's always seemed really alienating to me.
Yeah, so hard. I don't get how people can get into Mega Man at all. I've tried Mega Man X, like dubbed one of the best 2D run and gun games ever. Can't get past the first fucking level, like before you even choose what level you want to go on to. It's so hard. I don't know what it is about Mega Man. But people love it.
Have you seen
there's a lot.
Have you seen anything about the Duskbloods?
It's the new one coming out on the Switch 2, isn't it?
It is a Switch 2 exclusive FromSoft game, but it's multiplayer.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about multiplayer that FromSoft have got kind of like a hard on for at the moment, because obviously they brought Night Rain out not so long ago. Well, it was last year, wasn't it? Now, so probably longer than what you think. But this is kind of. So I saw this and I was kind of like, oh, okay, so this looks very Bloodborne-y, and it does look very Bloodborne-y on the Switch.
Yeah.
But then when I was watching a video the other day and it was explaining kind of like the gameplay mechanics, it's kind of, so 8 people start and kind of like are dumped into a map, and it's a race to get to the boss by, taking on enemies and finding upgrades. And collecting certain things, and if you don't get to a certain level or a certain, I don't know if it's score based or kind of like skill based, you get dumped out of the match. So there's kind of like a time limit on it.
Right, a bit like when racing games, if you're the last guy past the checkpoint, you get kicked out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when you get down to like the last couple, you guys take the boss on, or you can take each other on, and blah 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 blah.
Okay.
So it seems like an interesting twist. I don't know if that, like, I'm worried, like, if it doesn't actually get a player base.
Well,
because then,
I mean, that's all. Yeah.
I mean, you kind of, you need those 8 people to start the game.
True,
So
but
what are the match times going to be like?
A competitive Souls game, I think, might do quite well, to be honest, Mike.
Yes, on PC or on console, but
yes,
on Switch, it seems like a weird marriage. Like, I am very interested in it, but I'm kind of like worried at the same time. I don't think it's the right platform for the game.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll stay exclusive, or you don't normally get.
I mean,
Nintendo.
Bloodborne has.
Yeah,
so,
and you don't. Yeah, true. That is very fucking true. And there is cry out for that, isn't there?
Yeah, I am looking for I saw a video the other day. I don't know if it's been removed off YouTube, but it was basically a guy saying that you can get Bloodborne 4K working perfectly now. And I think the video's been pulled down.
You can do.
Because I was like, oh, yes, I'm going to follow this, because he was basically giving the guide on how to kind of like install it.
Yeah, I saw that a while ago when they managed to get PS3 working properly and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was through RPCS, and I think the video's gone now. But it's out there, so yeah, if anyone is looking to play Bloodborne on PC,
I might have to try that. I don't know if my laptop will be good enough, but
I mean, it's a PS4 game, I would imagine.
Yeah, I know, but you're emulating it. It's different, isn't it?
Should be. Yeah, but those old Jaguar fucking CPU cores, mate. Fucking hell. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah, I think the video's been taken down. Can't find it now. Bugger.
Man.
What a shame. So, yeah, that's what I've been playing.
So I've been playing one more game that I've not mentioned. Well, in fact, no, I have mentioned it. I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza quite a lot. I'm not sure what I make of that game.
Right.
It's clearly a very, very good game. Like, it's well made. Not noticed anything wrong with the controls or the way it works or anything like that. But I'm probably about 15 to 20 hours in. And I'm struggling to get into it, if that makes sense.
Right. It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time. It's a big game, bigger than I thought it was going to be. But I've got so far in it, and it's just repeating the same thing now. I go to a level, and the way it works, Hilly, it's like you trying to get to the core of the planet. So you go down holes after you finish the level. And I've got to a point now where it's like I get to a thingy, a level, and I just complete one objective, go down the hole, do a boss fight. Then I'll do another level, go down a hole, do a boss fight. And all the boss fights seem the same. The mechanics are seeming the same. I don't know.
But
I'm struggling with it.
They give you the different Bonanza variants.
They do, and they are brilliant, especially the Zebra Bonanza.
The Zebra
is phenomenal. But it's a funny game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. I'm just losing my way with it. I was in on it, and then it's just kind of losing me by doing the same thing.
It goes on a lot longer than what you think. I agree with that. Yeah. I feel like I'm
at sub-layer 998 or something like that now. So I'm quite far down. I'm assuming it now. So I probably won't carry on with that then.
I'm just trying to find out. How do you find out your playtime on the Switch?
Not sure. It estimates it, doesn't it? It says you played roundabout this, or at least 90 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've put a lot of time into it, so I've clearly enjoyed it. I like Paulina.
Yeah.
Paulina, she's a great character. Love that. I love the singing and the relationship those two have got. It's brilliant.
Yeah, the way that they have a little conversation every time you hop into a bed.
Every time you save the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. But I'm just getting a bit bored of it, to be honest. It was
Maybe
fun
go away
smashing
from it and
stuff,
play
but
something else and then come back.
that's exactly what I've done. It was my holiday game. I started it before we went, and I thought I'm going to get into it on holiday. And I went away for a week and a half, and I caned it, and I think probably caned it a bit too much, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, a bit disappointed. It's not Mario. Where's my Mario, Nintendo? Where is it?
You're not getting it. No Mario for you.
I'm not getting it.
10 years. 10 years and more is going to be. When was it? 2017 we got Odyssey.
Oh, so it's been 10 years nearly.
Yeah.
So where is it? Come on, man.
Just thinking of 2000, between 1996 and 2009, we got four. In 13 years, we got 4 good Mario games. We got Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and 2 Mario Galaxies. And we've had what? Since Mario Galaxy 2, we've had one in
Odyssey.
In what, 16 years?
Yeah.
When was Mario Galaxy 2? 2009 or 10?
I'm not sure. I can have a look. Let's see.
Wow, I've not even thought about this. Hang on a minute. One Mario game in 16 years.
Well, no, there's been Mario Wonder as well, and all the 2D ones. But
Galaxy 2 is 2010.
Wow.
Shit,
so yeah, 16 years. So, but let's be honest, that they are good games. No one's going to besmirch like the new Super Mario Brothers on the Wii and stuff like that. They're great games in their own right, but they're not proprietary.
They're not the flagship,
Mario
are they?
They're not the flagship stuff. It's not what
I think a Mario game on the Switch is a way off. I think that's partially why they released the Galaxy and the Galaxy 2 Twin Pack.
But they've released 2 fucking films, and they didn't release a game to go with the films.
Yeah.
It's money. It's guaranteed fucking money.
But
Nintendo.
They put Star Fox in the second Mario film.
Yeah, and then they released some shitty remake.
You know?
I fucking hate Nintendo. I really hate them. I love them and I hate them at the same time. It's so annoying. Shit.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, come on. None of these games are worth like waiting a decade for. A decade. Like, I only realised the other day that it's been a decade since Fallout 4.
Damn.
A decade.
Yeah.
And that was a disappointment. You know, I mean, it wasn't the worst game in the world, but it wasn't Fallout 3, was it? So yeah, but it's been a decade since Fallout 4.
They've announced the new Elder Scrolls, haven't they?
Again,
so to
same
speak.
thing, 15 years.
Yeah. That's what they're working on now, next Elder Scrolls. Not
How
Elder
many
Scrolls
septum
Online.
piercings are working on that game? That's what I want to know.
It's just a team of fat lesbians, the same as Grand Theft Auto.
That's what I want to know before I even look at a trailer for it. How many septum piercings are working?
To be fair, they've got a cat race already, so they're already part way there, aren't they?
Yeah. Just to pull it back to Bonanza for you, Dean. So, according to my Switch, I've played Bonanza for more than 25 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have seen
credits. Have you rolled credits?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it worth?
I haven't gone back to do the post game stuff. I mean, I enjoyed it. Where you at? 900.
Yeah, 900 odd something.
I think there's like 17. You get down to 1700. I think that's the last level or something like that. So you're more than halfway. So you might as well.
I'm already there, aren't I?
Yeah.
Partway there.
Yeah.
I will do it. It's just I've lost my way with it.
Yeah.
And I don't normally do. If I'm into a game, I hyper focus and I do it all the way through. But kind of just dropping off. Even the kids have got bored watching me just doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's fair because there's the destructible levels are great from a technical point of view, but it's a lot of just hitting the same button over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So it does get repetitive after a while. And like, you know, the Bonanza kind of like abilities do kind of help with that and make things a little bit quicker, especially when you're the big brute, like just smashing through everything. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, it does get a little bit more laborious because the further down you go, the more you'll find that there's materials that you can't break through. So
yeah, I'm starting to notice. I've just got the elephant Bonanza, so I'm
like
sucking up lava and stuff. I've just it was called the Bluster Wing something.
I don't like the bird one. Yeah.
No, the bad guy was a bluster. I can't remember his name, and I had to fire sticks and rocks to him to weigh him down and hit him, and it fucking took me ages. That did.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know if I could be arsed with this shit when I could just go and play Sonic instead again.
Yeah. I haven't really touched the DLC for it either, because they put a roguelike game mode in there, didn't they? But they hid it behind.
I heard,
yeah. So I've got it. I've managed to get it unlocked, because you have to complete the game to actually unlock it, which is bullshit when you've paid for a piece of DLC, but then you still have to, grind to actually play it. I've only played it a handful of times, and I've not really kind of like got stuck into that. And I do like a roguelike every now and then. But yeah, it's I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, because like I do think it's too long. I felt the fatigue towards the end of the game as well. So
yeah, what Mario Odyssey did was they gave you the game and you finished it in 10 hours. You got credits. Then it gave you more game, which took you another 10 hours if you were that way inclined. And then after that, you got more credits, and then you had the hardcore, and you could go back in if you really wanted to. You could go back in and do some real challenges. And I'm not there with Donkey Kong yet.
Yeah,
so, I know there's more after credits. I know there's more, but
I've heard
it's not.
It's not the kind of quality of the end game on Odyssey either. So
okay,
yeah. So I think it's just more of the same.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I will finish it, but
yeah, hit credits and then just call it a day, I would say, rather than.
Yeah.
I've heard the post game isn't worth doing.
It being the only game I've got really on the Switch 2 is helping it a lot as well, I think, because I want to use my cool new thing. So
yeah.
Bloody hell, Nintendo, sort it out.
Yeah, sort it out.
Let's entertain the possibility that they might not release a Mario game.
Of course they will.
I've been thinking about this. Now, when did Tears come out? Was it 2023?
That sounds right.
Possibly. Yeah, about then, yeah.
I think it was.
Because it was Switch 1, wasn't it? Before it came out before Switch 2, didn't it?
2023, yeah, good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Switch 2's been out almost a year.
More than a year.
Nearly 2 years. A year and a half now?
No, it's just gone past its anniversary, isn't it?
Oh, was it?
There was there was 6 years between Tears and Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking on how long Nintendo are taking to release to. I think there's a possibility we might not get a Zelda.
There's a Zelda film coming out.
Part of me thinks it'd be funny if we don't get a Mario as well. Like, can you honestly imagine them announcing a new Mario game? Like, seriously.
And you know the annoying thing about that, Hilly, is that's so Nintendo.
In a world where Naughty Dog haven't released a game on the PS5 generation, I can fully see Nintendo not releasing a Mario game on a console generation.
Has there ever been a console without a flagship Mario game?
Wii U.
Yeah.
New Mario Brothers.
Does that count?
That was released, yeah, but it wasn't a flagship, was it?
Yeah, that's more of a spin-off, isn't it?
Yeah, 2D.
Yeah. What is the flagship game for the Wii U? Sorry to double question you.
Is it like the zombie U?
Fucking zombie U.
I think that was it. I don't think there was one. It was an ill-fated decision, wasn't it?
I think you're right, yeah. Mario Kart 8 would be the game of the Wii U, wouldn't it, I guess?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, granted, it's a fantastic game, which they decided to release.
Breath of the Wild?
Again? Okay, so if we're gonna take the Mario Kart release schedule, look how many Mario Karts were released between 92 and Wii U. And then we just released, in the last 13 years, they've released one game, one Mario Kart.
which they've constantly iterated on, though. They've literally released every course for 8 Deluxe, haven't they?
You're forgetting about Mario Kart World. That they've not touched.
That's what I mean. So Mario Kart 8 was originally released in 2013.
Yeah.
And the only thing we've got in the last 13 years is Mario Kart World. So that's one Mario Kart game. Granted, they gave the Switch version of Mario Kart 8, which had all the courses, but that's still just one new Mario Kart game in the last 13 years.
Maybe we've got to the point where we can only kind of like count on one of each flagship title on each Switch console. Yeah. So there might well be just one Mario game. There might not be a Zelda game.
We didn't get an original Mario Kart on the Switch. Nope. We did get an original Zelda and Mario. Granted, they were both brilliant. We can't take that away. But I'm wondering if we're going to miss, one or two from this one. So we've got the Mario Kart already. I think we won't get both Mario and Zelda on the Switch.
I think out of the two, the Zeldas are less likely because they've effectively patched both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom to 60 frames a second, fully realizing the potential of both games there.
And Ocarina's coming out as well.
Yeah. So I don't.
That's going to have a lot. Work. So no Zelda. I think. I think no Zelda before 2030, and not on the Switch 2.
But will it be Odyssey 2, or will it be a completely different Mario?
And again, if it is Odyssey 2, I won't really see it as a new game, because generally speaking, most people didn't even see Galaxy 2 as most people remember Galaxy as being the beautiful Mario game. Galaxy 2, granted, is a phenomenal game, I hear, but it's like I finished Galaxy and didn't feel I needed to play Galaxy 2. It's like, I've played the flagship Mario. Galaxy 2 was like a DLC to me, even though it might not be. It's just, I'm just talking kind of like normitard here.
The Switch 2 is a sequel to the Switch, so it would make sense if there was a sequel to Odyssey on the sequel to the...
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? So I can... Because it's effectively, this is just the Switch Pro, isn't it? It's not like...
Yeah.
It's not a massive leap forward. I've got different Joy-Cons on it. Like, so there's a bit of a there's a grip. Yeah, these are the Nixie Imperians. So
I like to think that
no Mario on the Switch 2.
I like to think that Miyamoto sat in a room with like 50 new Marios, and it's just like, guys, it's just not fair on PlayStation or Xbox. If we release the new one now, let's just wait for another 10 years, because otherwise we're going to kill the gaming market.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that conversation, saying Miyamoto's just sat in a room with 50 prostitutes around him. Just
without a doubt.
Yeah.
And he's got his ruler out measuring.
That's why he's not. That's why he's not making any new games, because he's too busy getting fucking.
He's turned to whoring. Yeah. He's just whoring constantly. He can't like make a new Mario game.
No.
He basically just drew Mario's face. That's it. That's how far a new Mario game is. What's that?
Hasn't he stepped down anyway? I don't think he's actively developing anything anymore, is he? He's just like
thing, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just some advisor, isn't he? I mean, he stepped down ages ago, but
I imagine everybody was quite relieved when he stepped down, because he sounds like he's fucking nuts. You know what I mean? I know he's a genius in game design and stuff, but come on, I created Zelda by playing in my garden, and I saw a bush, and I thought that'd be a great adventure fuck off, you twat.
That's what geniuses do.
I know, but I imagine he was a pain to work for, because he was involved in he's the boss, and he's involved in every detail. Imagine if your boss is like there going, no, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Stop doing it like that. You got to do it like the way I want you to do it.
Yeah. Well, why don't you just fucking do it then? Fuck off.
Yeah, and he did. He did though, Mike. That was a problem.
I know. Yeah.
He only used to turn up whenever he wanted to as well. He was one of the only staff members who didn't have a start time, because they tried to give him a start time, and he always used to turn up late. So they basically just went, look, just turn up whenever you want. So no one ever knew when he was coming into work. So you just have all these people waiting for Miyamoto to turn up to tell them what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Real
exactly
genius.
how to
But
do it.
You earn that kind of privilege.
So
deal with it.
Yeah.
No new Nintendo console ever. We're just going to get the Switch 3.
Switch 3.
Switch 3.
And
No
Mario Odyssey HD DD.
That's it. And Mario Kart 8.2.
Yeah. Classic tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wind Waker 4K.
I think with that, we might have to call it at that. I think it's getting quite late, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, we got no questions or feedback this time around because we didn't ask for any. So
no.
Yeah, but we should be recording again soon. So if anyone does want to get in touch with us, Hilly, how did they do that?
Yeah, you can get in touch with us on our Facebook page, our TikTok page, and our Instagram. All the social medias. You can also get in touch with us on email if you're so inclined on sogpod@gmail.com. That's sogpod@gmail.com.
You know, every time I expect it to catch you off guard, but you're there every time.
He's on it. On it like a car bonnet.
Mainly duty, it's mainly job.
That was the slickest part of the show, to be honest with you.
Do you know what? I'm just going to say, though, I think we have been given the email out incorrectly for all of these.
Have we?
Some poor bloke's got a load of weird questions.
He's like, why did they never answer my fucking question? Why don't they read mine out? Yeah, I think that's because we've been given the wrong fucking email out all this time. So it's sonsofglitchespod@gmail.com. So if you want to send us any questions or feedback.
Poor SOG pod.
Yeah.
Getting Shirley Bassey emailing them every week. You guys are
Yeah. Well, she's not emailed in for a while.
Well, exactly.
Just
to got the right email address.
Sons of Glitches pod.
Yes.
@gmail.com. Right, I've noted this information.
I think that's my bad, mate. I think I gave you the wrong one to begin with, so I'll take full responsibility for that. So if you're wondering why we've never read your email out, there's a good chance that we never received it in the first place. So yeah, feedback to the. Oh well. Just use the jot form. It's easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
There'll be a link in the description below. If I remember to do it this time, I've not done it yet. I will remember to do it one day.
And the potential is that Dean gets the link wrong as well.
Yeah, because he's been drinking. What have you been drinking tonight?
Dead Man's Finger and cola.
Yeah.
More Dead Man's Finger than cola, apparently. Tasted like rat piss. Also, Hazy Jane's.
What's that?
Why not? It's a Monday night. It's a beer. A hazy beer. It's a a New England IPA. 5%.
I have never drank an IPA. I don't know what they are.
Posh beers, mate.
I had my first drink in 11 years a couple of weeks ago.
Oof. How did that go?
What did you have?
I had a Hawkstone stout down at Clarkson's pub.
Nice. Did you enjoy it?
Nice.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. The food was incredible. Genuinely gorgeous food there.
I've heard it's very nice.
Yeah. So
that's a long trip down for you, that is.
No, not really. Well, it was longer because we were four of us went down. So four of us from work have got BMWs. So we're like, oh, this will be a great Top Gear road trip. We'll film it. So we bought a bunch of cameras, bunch of microphones, and we went down in convoy. And we were pulling off towards a castle, Stokesay Castle, which was about halfway. We were doing the A roads there and back, so it wasn't just a boring motorway trip. And pulled off onto this kind of like little road going up to this castle. And the plan was to get the drone out, get some footage of the cars, and have it following us up these kind of like little roads. some prick decides to come round a blind bend on his mobile phone and drove into the car at the front of the park and wrote my mate's car off. So,
oh dear.
Yeah, so that kind of like put a dampener on the weekend.
I bet.
Yeah, it fucking absolute bellend coming around a blind bend. And there was the worst part was like there was a tea rooms behind this castle. And there was a playground at the side of the tea rooms and there was kids playing there and he's just fucking driving down on his like this fucking like upper middle class guy. Like, because there's no coppers around there, do you know what I mean? Because just the area. So they don't give a fuck and like, oh, Eric, go fuck yourself, you absolute fucking bellend.
Man.
Yeah, wrote my mate's car off, but you know, because we were filming it, we had him on camera admitting to it and everything, so there was no way he was getting out of that. So,
damn.
Yeah.
I used to, I drive for a living, and I used to cover the Peak District, which is all rural roads. You see it all the time. Some prick in a Range Rover on his phone, flying around corners at 50 miles an hour. And when he sees a 30-ton truck coming towards him, I'm sat there in my big metal defense system. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. And they shit themselves. It's brilliant. I love it.
Eyes get very wide when they see something like that coming towards them. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, I said to the guy, I was like, mate, you're lucky you hit the car because there's fucking kids there. You could have. And he was like, yeah, I know. I was like, I don't think you do, mate. You're a fucking knobhead. So, but yeah, we managed to get to the pub. The pub was really nice, smaller than what you think. And the food is genuinely gorgeous, really nice.
Did you? Was it tiny little plates, or was it decent amount?
No. So we all had we had a starter, we had a main, and 3 of us had a dessert, and drinks and everything included. It was like 250 quid. So yeah, and honestly, mate, like the quality of the food was really nice, and the portions were bang on as well. Like you couldn't really have the 2 of us had a steak pie and 2 of us had steak. And I wish I had the steak pie because when that rocked up, it was full of fucking cow, and it was it looked awesome. But I mean, the steak that was really nice as well. I have 10 out of 10. I have 0 complaints about that place.
To be fair, Clarkson strikes me as the kind of person who loves a pub lunch. You know, loves a beer. You know what I mean? That kind, traditional English bloke, I suppose.
Yeah. And he's probably eaten in enough top class restaurants to know how to do it. So yeah. For all his faults, I think like he's actually, the whole Clarkson's Farm stuff is kind of like really interesting and been an eye opener. And I know he's kind of a divisive person, but some of the things that he's actually managed to highlight, some of the struggles and the issues that like British farmers are facing nowadays, I think is legitimately important. So yeah, if I can support that just by going down to the pub, and like I say, I felt like it was a fitting time to I've not had a drink in like 11 years, like I say. So I had a nice Hawkstone's version of Guinness, and it tasted really nice. It didn't hold its head as long as like a Guinness, but it tasted really good. So
I've had a couple of Hawkstone beers bought from the co-op. Really nice, I like them. Well done, Jeremy.
The bar's really small. Like you get into the pub and the bar is literally like maybe 6 foot long, and there's only kind of like a handful of pumps, and there was like 2 people behind the bar. I would like hate to think of how busy it would get, but we got there at just the right time. We turned up at like 8 o'clock, and our table was booked for 8:30. They didn't rush us out. They didn't do anything like that. We were free to sit there all fucking night if we wanted to. Yeah. Belting place. Nice. Really good.
There you go. Highly recommended. Yeah. Highly recommended from Mike.
Oh, I think that's us, isn't it?
I think that's us, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're just talking about restaurants now, aren't we?
Well, yeah.
Making me hungry before bed.
All right.
You want to take pie before bed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening. And yeah, that's it. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Take it easy.